Okay, we should be
All
back.
right.
Yeah, that is entirely my fault again. There are a lot of things to manage, and I forgot to bring in the bot once again, but thank you for bringing that up. We are live for today. Ragnarok Esports Skoll, ZMG Venom. We've talked about the York and the Misfortune one trick, so that's obviously bans, and Shinkari, take it from there.
Yeah. We got some great picks up already. Ari, Jin, Hecarim, looking at some great initiation for Ragnarok Esports. Skoll here. ZMG Venom also following up with some hard initiation. We're looking for some 5v5 team fighting prowess on both sides here. Kind of forcing each other and into this kind of strategy here, especially after taking a character like Yorick off the table. You're not going to have a whole lot of that split pushing prowess, especially taking Shen off the table as well. And with this Orin lock-in, it tells me 100% ZMG Venom looking for that 5v5 fight.
Absolutely. It's also worth noting this Amumu most likely going to be a support Amumu, not the jungle Amumu. So we're still looking for a jungler from ZMG. I think it's just really strong bot lane presence in Amumu and Samira. You hit a bandage toss, you follow it up with a second bandage toss, and then post 6. You can't get away from the Samira Inferno trigger. So it's really good combo there. And ZMG are trying to basically just out team fight Ragnarok Esports right now. What Ragnarok Esports does have here, though, is a level of pick that we have that ZMG Venom just have not been able to match. You have the Ari that can get into the back line and start fights off on a good note. Jin with the curtain call, Hecarim flying in as well. There's a lot of ways that Ragnarok Esports can start a fight when ZMG Venom aren't ready, and that seems like what we're going to be getting in terms of differences in these compositions.
Yeah, for sure. And now with a bunch more of these bans taken away here, Sona, Urgot for ZMG Venom are going to be banned away from Ragnarok here, and Ragnarok is going to take away Olaf and Vex from ZMG Venom. It looks like we're just taking a whole lot of comfort off the table here. It looks like these are mostly just targeted bans. That's going to be my best guess here, because Olaf is good no matter what. Olaf, I feel, is like good no matter what the meta is, because Ragnarok is just such a ubiquitously good ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, taking it off the table here, making sure that you can't get some comfort champions, some easy to pick up here, forcing them onto maybe their tier 3, their tier 4 champions here, their third string, fourth string, taking that nerd off the bench, even though he was last picked. Is always going to give you a little bit of an edge over your opponent, especially when we're in kind of like these middling tiers of skill level here.
Yeah. So, and I think it's also really important because the Ornn and the Amumu are crucial in allowing Samira Katarina to do their job. So taking that away is making sure that you are not going to have somebody running Katarina as she's trying to use her ult, Samira as she's slowed using her ult, and that will be basically just what we're kind of looking at in terms of we need to have crowd control, stopping these players running in, stopping the Alistar, stopping the Hecarim Ari from getting onto our backline. We need to have that crowd control function. The Bel'Veth is an interesting one because I feel like ZMG Venom had enough damage already, and now they're just adding even more.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Bel'Veth, once again, I'm starting to, the more and more I see Bel'Veth be played, here's my evaluation of the character. Tell me how you feel about it. Tell me, we can go back and forth on it if you'd like. It seems like Bel'Veth seems like somewhat of a snowbally champion. Once you start to get those kills, once you start to grab that essence, you really start to pop off. And once if you start to really fall behind, an attack speed, melee, engage heavy kind of champion like Bel'Veth starts to fall behind, especially when your ultimate doesn't really offer a whole lot of utility to your team, kind of similar to a Diana, right? A Diana Moonfall is a pretty decent utility, But if you fall behind, right, like it's still going to be
I
worth more than kind of like a Belveth ultimate.
I was with you until you compared to Diana. I think the pull in from Diana is a lot more influential
Yeah.
than you're giving
It
it
was
credit
more of to
for.
say, it's more of to say, Diana and Belveth are similar, but Belveth is more dependent on you getting a lead,
More
whereas
feast or famine.
Diana,
Yeah.
Diana is
I
more like, okay, if Diana falls behind, right, you still get that's kind of utility out of Diana through the Moonfall, through
so
the slows as well.
so Belveth is Master Yi but enjoyable to watch is really the long and short of it. Uh she's actually she feels like she has a little bit more skill. I'm not going to say that she takes more skill. They're differing skills, different
Hmm.
skills that are being tested, but regardless, it is still, a little bit more, it feels a little bit more interesting to watch than a Master Yi. But the biggest thing is I'm looking at this saying, why do you need Belveth? You have Katarina, you have Samira. These are two extremely high damage champions that really just need more setup than anything. And I
Right.
think the Amumu, I feel like going for a bruiser, if you're like, okay, well, we want to have that just in case damage, go for something like a bruiser. Go for the Wukong or something like that, because
Yeah.
that was left open the entire time. Go for, maybe a Jin Zhao for an early game presence that you don't really have. A lot of these champions waiting for that level 6 power spike in order to really be potent in the game. So I really would like to see, or would have liked to see, something that had a little bit more of a frontline presence.
Right.
Belveth is very much, you have to wait for the right moment, and now you have three champions on your team that are kind of all doing that. They're waiting for their moment to go in, and if you don't get that engage right, they're never going to have that opportunity to go in. And the skirmish potential that Ragnarok has here is really scary. If that initial engage doesn't work, Ragnarok has the tools to turn that back around.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would have liked to have just a little bit more consistent damage. Maybe like Belveth here to me seems like, okay, we've got the Wombo combo in Samira Katarina with Ornn and Amumu, right? So like, if you outside of that combo, like what else do you have, right? If that combo gets interrupted by something like an Alistar or something
Exactly.
like an Ari or Hecarim, what else do you have, right? Is it Belveth, right? Because that seems to be the answer to me.
Yeah, I mean, so Samira will still do damage even if the ultimate gets stopped. It's not the end of the world, obviously, compared to like Katarina, where that's a big cooldown down. It's just gonna feel a little bit squishier. It's gonna be a little bit easier for one, this backline to get targeted by the Ari and the Hecarim. Two, a little bit easier for this Jin to be able to work through the rest of that team. Now, granted, it is still Ornamumu, and Jin not gonna have a great time with that. So I do like those picks in terms of that. But remember, it is a support Amumu, so it's gonna be a little bit less income than you would see in terms of the jungle Amumu. And the Ornn up against that Tom Kench, that is a top lane matchup that Ornn actually doesn't really nullify as well as he would other ones. When you look at Ornn versus a lot of bruisers, Ornn generally can win those matchups because he just does so much damage and he gets beefy so very quickly, as well as being able to buy those items in lane. Tom Kench, on the other hand, has so much damage built into his kit that he has the ability to stay in lane forever and just constantly whittle you down, keep slapping you with that tongue, and you're unable to really go toe to toe with him. He is a tank that actually outduels what I would consider the dueling tank and Ornn.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Tom Kench is a character that gets more powerful offensively as they're building defensive, right? As they're stacking that
Yes.
HP, they get more offensive, they get more offensive prowess, especially in a lot of their abilities, which Ornn isn't used to, right? Ornn is used to people being like, okay, I am going to just build damage. I'll have a little bit of defenses here and there, but I'm just going to be building damage. And Ornn's just like, okay, I mean, I've got great
Well,
base damage. I've got some
it's
consistent and nuisance, and I'm building and I'm stacking defensives as well. You can't break through my HP. You can't break through my HP. And the longer this fight goes on, right, I will win out.
Yeah, it's either that or going up against another straight up tank like a Malphite or
Right.
like a full tank Scion, where they're both going to be really tanky, but Ornn has that percent health damage. Tom Kench is one of the few that actually really scales up in that damage, and it's pretty solid early on too with Grasp. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this top
Yeah.
lane really works out, and I think that's gonna be influential in the rest of the game because those top laners then become the major front line for these teams, and that's really going to play the biggest part of how these team fights will work out.
Yeah. The last thing I wanted to mention really quickly is that Alistar, Rodless, buddy, if you're watching, you're going to have the most boring job on the planet. You're going to have
Yep.
to play super boring if you want to win this game. You are just going to be holding most of your abilities and waiting for Katarina, Samira, and Belveth to go in. It's going to be boring. You're not going to like it. And it's going to be so dull. You're just going to sit there like looking at your abilities off cooldown and not being able to press them. But trust me, it's going to be fine, right? It's like
Mhm.
Katarina and Samira, they're the bane of their existence is just instantly pressing a Q, knocking them into the air and interrupting their ultimates and then knocking them away from the team fight. Um, that is going to do it for us for just a quick bit. We are going to take just a quick break as we get everything prepped and ready to go for game number 1 on the Rift of Ragnarok Esports Skoll up against ZMG Venom. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
So,
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Style Esports Season 12. My name is Shinkari. I'm joined by Thousand Eyes. Here we are on the Rift. We got a line of scrimmage across the river. We've got ZMG Venom up against Ragnarok Esports. We got these two ready to go. and we have a great game lined up for y'all today. Thousand Eyes, are you ready?
I am ready. We see our line of scrimmage being set. Ed Teebs just kind of backing off and looking to play defensively here. I'm looking across. It's interesting to see the glacial on both of the supports here. Has been pretty strong on a lot of engaged supports just for that ability to keep people slowed, not let them get away, and also lower their damage while they're in it. I think I like it a bit more on the uh Alistar in this instance, just because of the, like you had said before we left, the fact that Alistar is going to be looking more to peel, more to keep people from actually going in. That seems more like we're going to be getting defensive style. That gives, you're not going to be the focus of these in these
Yeah.
fights. You want to just lower the damage and kind of keep things kind of stable. You look at Amumu might be getting the focus here because Ornn's going to ult from a distance. Amumu is definitely going to be going in there. And I think you're just going to be relying a lot on that damage reduction to try and keep yourself healthy.
I was gonna say it was very nice that that Wolfman was able to get that triple minion clear on the first wave. Always love to see it. Showing up to lane just in time. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the grenades. Such Jin perfection. Jin perfection, should I say, as Ender's Gamer once again showing this matchup is not gonna be very good for this Ornn in the top lane. Oh, wait a minute. They're still going at it. Leo the Ravager actually taken really, really low here. That's more than a scuffle. That's a rip snogger. Is that what it's called? I don't remember.
I don't.
Rip
I'm
snorting good time.
taking away your talking privileges. It is a good trade on the top side. Ornn obviously gonna struggle a little bit more too because he does not have that built-in healing like Tom Kench does. But he does have the Dord shield, will heal back up over time and be okay. Think the biggest thing is just the pressure that gave. You can see it gave a cheater recall to Ender's Gamer, who will be able to back away and get more items, keep in line with this Ornn who can build items in lane.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is a really good job. Sadly, they had to back pretty quickly, only coming back with a ruby crystal here. But you know, I think just getting these quick backs here, like you said, making sure to keep up with Ornn in the lane here, and especially because the lane is already shoved out like really, really hard in the top lane. Just kind of moving backwards and just saying like, okay, well, I'm just gonna, you know, just go back to base, pick up something, and come back. And by the time I'm back, you know, look, the minion wave is already kind of in the middle there.
Yeah, nothing really missed here, although do have to worry about the possibility of jungle ganks, but Leo is the one in trouble right now.
Yeah, Leo the Ravager here, going to come in from the side. Discrepancy is here, going to knock them back a little further away from the turret. They're taken incredibly low here, forced to flash away, but they want some more. Discrepancy underneath the turret. That orange charge is going to get very good here. That's one underneath the turret. Can they get two? It's a double kill. Leo the Ravager forces them to show off why he's called that up on the top side here as we get look at the bottom side here. Both exhausts are put through. Zark 100 is taken pretty low here. Does have that full stack of the passive, but doesn't have that ultimate to pop through here as Rodless is looking for Marty. I'm scared here down the bottom lane, but here comes King Demon over to the side, flashing over, looking for that last bit of CC. They can't quite find it. The Suns are good, and across the map, it is disaster. Absolute disaster for Ragnarok Esports here.
I don't know what the plan was there. Don't dive Ornn is the long and short. That is a lesson everyone should be aware of at this point. He has so much crowd control. He has so much damage. It's very, very unlikely that you are going to be able to pull something off diving an Ornn, and that just was ignored. Discrepancy and Ender's Gamer just went so deep under that tower. Ended up trading 2 for nothing in that one. And bot lane, unfortunately, a little bit of lack of target priority there costs the Jin a lot there, because Jin can't really put out a lot of DPS over time across multiple people. And unfortunately, because of that, Marty, I'm scared, Zark, they both get really low, but none go down. because they're just the fourth shot didn't take anybody down, didn't give the opportunity for Wolfman to then get maybe some more healing off of that triumph again and try and turn that around. Really unfortunate stuff, but a really nice start here for ZMG Venom.
Yeah, and it's kind of off the back of a whole lot of blunders here, but let's see if this one is going to be a blunder this time. Discrepancy still trying to be on the offensive here as Ethereal Ice taking a bit of much too much turret damage for having not so much mana on in this mid lane here.
Yeah, a little bit aggressive there. The ignite used. I'm not entirely certain what the ignite was used for there, but it was used. I'm kind of concerned though, because looking right now across the map, Ari has to be feeling the pressure. Because you look at your bot lane, that is now 0-2 across both members. You look at the tops and the jungle, which are 0-2 across both members. Ari is the only one that has not really struggled in terms of laning presence, and that just puts so much pressure on you in the mid lane. Leo also, I mean, granted, Ender's Gamer is still doing really well in the farm, has a lot of that wave to farm as well. Soulblaze should be okay here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is such a good play so far. I mean, this has been some pretty good defensive play from ZMG Venom so far. They've been able to handle these aggressive kind of options that Ragnarok's Esports has been taking this whole time. So, you know, hats off to them. As now they're the one in the driver's seat here. Good initiation. Great follow-up from the Katarina here. Discrepancy is going to interrupt that ultimate, but they're already taken so incredibly low. Hellblaze is looking for more, and Triumph is going to heal them up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Getting the dragon as well. Holy moly. Ethereal Ice looking for a little bit more, though. King Demon taken pretty low, but man, the damage is done. 7.5 minutes in. We're looking at a 2.8k gold lead. They're up 7 kills and a drag to boot. This is insane.
ZMG really pushing the issue there, recognizing that, hey, we got a lead right now. Let's use that lead as much as possible because we know that our champs spike really hard. So they go for that dragon, they force the fight, and then once again, just the lack of ability for Jhin to DPS multiple people to be able to switch targets easy. All of his damage is very bursty onto one person and kind of slow at this point. He's still level 5, so still building up attack speed inherently.
Yeah, Robless might actually be in some trouble here. Does get the stun onto Zark here, but now they're both in trouble. That's going to be the ultimates from Samira coming down. Wolfman's down in some trouble. 1-2 punch. Holy moly. I think Samira was trying to back there to cash in their gold.
Samira just walking back home, just finds another $20 bill on the ground and just keeps walking. Zark is insanely powerful right now. We'll be able to shove this in, make more farm be missed by WP Wolfman. Hellblaze. Yeah, no, you can't gank this Katarina. Like, she's just gonna blink away every single time unless you really time your gank with the wave. You have to pay attention to the wave, or Katarina's just gonna hop back every single time.
Yeah, I mean, I got a hats off to Discrepancy too. Like, they're behind, but Discrepancy is still trying to be as aggressive and making plays and getting these initiations. He is still playing Hecarim. He's just not playing it as if he's behind. And you know, there's a bit that's still that's very behind. Yeah. You can't. And so he just kind of just like, look, we're behind. I guess I still have to play this champion like this. So, look, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. As yeah, they're going to be able to pick up this first Rift Herald here, which is going to be able to help them get back into this game. They're down 3.7k gold. They're going to have to get some advantages somewhere.
Yes, so far it is just going to be just to back away and hold off for now, but they do have that Rift Herald. That is the saving grace that they have right now. Everything else just going to be rougher and rougher as Discrepancy might be in a bit of trouble. Backs away. Marty, I'm scared, is just in the wings here. You don't want to go for this engage, Discrepancy.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be the engage right there. Curse of the Sad Mummy comes in huge as Marty, I'm scared, is going to go on a killing spree. 3-0-5 on this support Mumu. Hellblaze waiting in the wings, but it looks like Rodless and Ethereal Ice might not want to bite off a little bit more than they can chew here.
Yeah, finally a first evolve there for King Demon to get that Belveth transform. Didn't get it off of the Rift Herald as it was taken away, like we said. So Discrepancy still trying to do his best, but a mistimed engage, and that seems to really be I guess the story of this game is that Oh, put him under the tower. Put him under the tower.
Oh, the minion was right there, so now he's not underneath the turret here with Leo the Ravager. Yeah, taking a bunch of damage here. Now we're looking at the bot lane here. Rodless gets a good counter engage on a Marty. I'm scared here. That's going to be the bandage toss onto a minion to try to get away, and it looks like that's going to be successful. They're going to back away. This looks like a wash down the bot lane.
Yeah, one thing that I actually kind of wish I was seeing a little bit more from Rodless was just standing in front of this Jhin. As we do see fights in the top side, Ender in trouble.
Yeah, we also have a curtain call down to the bottom lane as well. The red team's looking like they don't want to fall behind just yet, even though their HP bars are low. Wolfman's is low as well. Zark 100 is going to get that lifeline shield. Going to keep alive for a little bit longer. King Demon is here. That's going to be the reactivation of the Zark ultimate. Going to come through, get that damage as King Demon gets one, gets two. Going to be able to keep their AD carry safe, but now the HP bars are so incredibly low. The stun comes through. Discrepancy looking for a little bit more. Ethereal Ice can't quite find that HP, and King Demon is going to live to tell the tale. Holy moly, they come out on top.
There's so much inherent healing there in the Bel'Veth already. Just pushing that E makes you so difficult. It is very similar to the Master Yi Meditate, except you're also doing damage during it as well. So Bel'Veth able to get in that bush, hide away, and just the health bars have every single time been so very low for ZMG, but they pulled it out every time and kept themselves alive. Now it started off with just top lanes going rough. Okay, now bot lane's going a little rough. Jungle now completely fallen behind as well. And you're looking at mid lane as your winningest lane with a 20 CS advantage right now. That's not enough. There needs to be some change here, especially because the combo from the side of ZMG is going to be so very good and hard to deal with. Ornn Amumu is going to set up this team so incredibly well, and the damage is going to be way too much for them to handle.
Yeah, for sure. And now we're taking a look at about 13 minutes into this game, and even though this top lane is still able to scuffle back and forth, there's just it's a 5,000 gold difference, or even nearly 6,000 at this point difference between these two teams, and it's going to be an Infernal Soul for the map as well. Like, this is a recipe for disasters. Leo the Ravager knocked into the air here. Discrepancy coming in for the side, but going to get knocked into the air from the Ornhorn charge. They're going to fear them back into the Tom Kench here. Going to chew them up.
There you go.
Spit them back out. This is real good. Giving them a little bit more up close and personal time with the Ornn boy himself. Curtain call in the bot lane. Looking for Marty. I'm scared. Going to take a couple of turret shots. Rodless taking incredibly low. Zark going to go underneath the turret. Absolutely. Going to get that smoking sexy style double kill in the bot lane. Dante popping off.
We can't say that legally.
Oh yeah. Legally distinct. It's not Dante.
Shante.
Oh shit. I mean, damn it. It's
Blante.
It's not Tay.
Blante.
Not Tay.
All right. Yeah, well, whoever the hell they are, they're doing really good this game. Because Zark right now, 8-0-4 on Samira, and just really looks comfortable on this as well, because the build-up on these
Discrepancy
ranks
here. Looking for a re-engage here, looking for Zark 100 on the backside here, but taken down easy peasy.
No.
Lemon squeezy. Zark coming in for another re-engage. Ornhorn coming across, but they're going to be able to get taken down. Wolfman's going to be the one picking up the shutdown here. Let's see if they're looking for more Rodless. That's going to be the headbutt pulverized combo going to come through. Shutdown for Ari here. They're now looking for more. Rodless is going to be able to find the stun, but here comes Hellblaze in from the side. They're looking for more. Shunpo goes forward, throws out the knives, goes through, throws out the ultimate, doesn't quite land it, but they're still looking for it, flashing forward, dashing, dodging, throwing out the daggers, getting a one after another. Hellblaze only has a little bit of HP left. Ethereal Ice doesn't have a whole lot, but underneath the turret, Ari gets the kill. Let's go.
Ethereal Ice able to kite that one out and stay alive there. Obviously, with Katarina being one of the few champs that has not completely popped off yet for ZMG, you can't really dive that deep. You can't look at everybody else going off and think, you know what, I could do that. I can do that too, guys. Just watch. And really, you're not able to at this point yet. You're still working on it. You just got the Nash's Tooth completed, compared to your Samira, who almost has 2 items entirely completed at this point. There is a big difference there, but it is still a 1 fight for ZMG, and they are going to wipe the floor. I don't think there's really much more to be said at this point. Especially scary when you have the Belveth and you're seeing them take this Rift Herald right now. That is so scary because the amount of pressure that is going to come from this Rift Herald as Belveth takes that evolve and now has those extra Remora to push down lanes. All of this that has built up right now has been just kills. Suddenly, tower pressure becomes scarier and scarier as the Void Remora show up.
Yeah, and now look at this. Yeah, this is going to be insane siege from King Demon here. They're already doing such a good job of pressuring your champions' HP bars, and now not even your turrets are safe from Belveth. Once again, this is we said it before. This is a snowbally champion, and the snowball has happened. All right, we're 16 and a half. We're nearly 17 minutes into this game. King Demon should not be at this point right now.
Agreed. Yeah. This is a Belveth that has kind of hyperscaled a bit. Not as much as some of the other champions on this in this game, but has definitely hyperscaled a lot more than what should be happening here, as we do see the Rift Herald going to be popped here. Mid lane going to be cracked open. That's almost assuredly now. Oh, actually, they get that before the charge, so they're going to get a definite charge here.
Ooh, wait a minute. That's a great... Okay,
God.
Good interrupt on Marty. I'm scared here. Rodless is going to be the one picking up the kill here. Zark 100 is now looking for the re-engage here. That's going to be the onslaught of shadows here. They're still trying to keep them away from Jhin, give them enough space to get that damage, but they're still only able to find one. Enders Gamers is finally here from the side. There's going to look through that Abyssal Voyage. Let's see if he can get through here. Looking for a little bit more. Hellblaze is slowed up. Ethereal Ice comes through, but can't land the CC that they're looking for. They're just too slippery. Flashing forward. Going to be able to find the shutdown. Enders Gamer is going to be the one finding that kill on the top lane. They might have lost a turret, but they are able to find a couple small victories for themselves to keep them hanging on in this game.
Yeah, nice little tongue flip at the end to grab the kill there as Enders Gamer gets that one. But now with the dragon spawning here, this could slow down the dragon. Nope. Yeah, that will.
Oh, no. King Demon's in some trouble here looking to heal off a discrepancy, but now they're going to find the shutdown for themselves as well. They're still down 5,000 gold, but they're going to be able to find an objective bounty for themselves as well. They're slowly clawing their way back into this game.
Yeah, they're gonna find an option here now as the pressure has been let up for a split second. They've found an opportunity. They do get in, get that dragon that slows down the dragon stacking that we did see ZMG doing. And it also just gives a little bit of gold, right? Remember, they got the Samira kill, so that was a shutdown. They got the kill on the Belveth, another shutdown. The gold in terms of trading those kills still works out in favor of Ragnarok, as they are going to be getting those bounties up. That just gives them a little bit more space, a little bit more time, as now we get into here the mid-game portion. This is kind of where I think the story of the game is really going to be told, because you've got you're either going to see this fallback, this slip continue to happen from ZMG as they don't know what to do after their momentum has been stopped, how to regain that momentum, or we're going to see them grab that momentum again and just shove it right down the throat of Ragnarok, and Ragnarok need to find another really strong pick. This is the moment Ragnarok need to find another push forward and get their momentum solidly in favor.
Yeah, I mean, this is make or break moment for Ragnarok as well. The problem is for me is that we've seen them play confidently in quotes before, right? And it's led to them getting 4 deaths across the map. So is this going to be a continuation? Is from what we saw before is what I'm truly asking. Like this is really going to be Ragnarok needs to be diligent. Is what I'm looking for. They need to be patient.
Yes.
You know, they've gotten their victories, but they can't let it get to their head. They can't get main character syndrome. Y'all are not Goku. Okay, we're Krillin. You still have to be Krillin for a little bit longer here.
There is confidence and there is correctness, and we've
Yeah.
seen a lot of the confidence, a little bit less of the correctness so far. But right now, I'm looking right now at this bot lane, and now I think the Tom Kench is starting to scale up, getting to that ability to duel here.
Yeah, he's chewed up, spat out, does have that Sunfire Aegis, so these auto attacks are doing a whole lot of damage, but Leo the Ravager does have those minions. The Oranhorn is coming across as well, going to give him some space after the Abyssal Voyage,
It's not
and now
doing
Ender's
damage,
Gamers
though.
actually is going to be able to get some healing off the of the Grasp of the Undying. It's just one big meatball battle back and forth. Leo the Ravager trying to dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge his way around that tongue lashing. Going to be able to get away and back, finally. That's going to be the end of that
I'm
fight. Just back and
amazed.
forth. Yeah.
That was so anticlimactic. Oh my god, they built that up so much of like 30 seconds of fighting and then nothing.
Oh.
Why are we going in here?
Rodless, okay, gets the initiation. Discrepancy is there to follow up as well. They have the curtain call, but they just spent 2 ultimates and a ghost and got nothing.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
that was what I was saying. Okay, well they got the TP, but I mean the big thing there was like they went in. Discrepancy was not there for that fight, and I get that Hecarim can come from a distance, but you usually want that to be from a flanking position, and Hecarim was definitely not in a flanking position. Ethereal Ice also not in a position to try and follow up on that really well. The curtain call was fine. Alistar and Jhin curtain call, great, but you gotta have the rest of your team follow up on that, and they just were not in a position to do so.
Yeah, they did have a little bit of an opportunity here to start up the Baron after all those ultimates were spent. And it looks like they're just going to, they just tried to bait it out and maybe put them into a death rush, but now they're all just kind of backing away. I kind of like this reset here, but once again, it gives just a little bit more time for Ragnarok Esports here to just kind of get a footing in this game. They're still down 4.5 thousand gold, but this is still a bit of breathing room for them.
Yeah, they will just kind of chill for now. Remember, Dragon in a minute here. I think this is going to be where our story takes its turn or continues its path. As we've seen one Dragon go in favor of Ragnarok. This time, they have a little bit of a presence. They have the ability to try and fight this. They're not going to have the curtain call for it, but they are going to have pretty much every other ultimate available. And that does mean they can actually scuffle for this. Tom Kench is big enough. He is there. He has the teleport. Leo has to walk down to this. He has to be here. Although I think they might just bring the Tom Kench along just immediately.
Yeah, Ender's Gamer not going to take their time going up to split push the top lane, but it looks like they just might be conceding the Drake and just going right for this mid lane turret.
I'm not sure about this call. On the one hand, I get it because like it is a hard fight to win. But at the same time, you are giving away a soul point here.
That's an Ornhorn.
Yeah,
They're looking to fight this. Hellblaze goes right in here. That's going to be the ultimate coming across, immediately interrupted. Ornn is going to get some good CC, but there's not a whole lot of damage. Follow-up here is now Rodless is A-okay. They might have some low HP, but they're going to get out of that fight. They get the trait that they're looking for, and they get a kill as well. Are they marching to Baron?
I think they're just trying to leave this. I don't think they can really go for the Baron because you still got so much counter engage here.
Yeah.
I'm confused. So here's the thing.
No way.
They're starting it. All right.
All right.
Not what I expected. So here's the thing. As this builds up here, if I get my opportunity to talk, they went for the dragon, and that was fine. Trading the dragon for the tower, whatever. I feel like Venom are fine with that. On the other hand, why did you have people try to defend the tower?
Guys, now Discrepancy gets actually a decent initiation here. Gonna get into the Shadows Onslaught for the re-engage here, but Zarkon Hunter is now finally onto the backside here. Gonna pop that ultimate, gonna be able to find one. Triumph is keeping them alive. They get chewed up. They're gonna get spat out. They're gonna go down. And now Ethereal Ice is the only member of the blue team left, though. It's a 4-for-2, and the red team, ZMG, comes out on top one more time.
Yeah, I feel like the Baron call was a little bit of a stretch there because you could see at the end of that fight, the health bars were pretty low. That very easily could have gone a different direction there. But because of the fact that they started that Baron and they got into that weird, awkward position where they tanked a lot of damage from it, they ended up losing out on that fight. They took Marty I'm Scared down low, forcing the early ult. But in the process there, Zark was able to charge up that the levels on that passive and eventually get the ultimate available, jumped in on WP Wolfman and Ethereal Ice and forced them back so much and unable to really continue to add anything into that fight for a while that it gave the time for ZMG to win that fight fully.
Yeah, it's really, once again, I feel like this game is kind of rested solely on Ethereal Ice right now as the most threatening player on their team for Ragnarok Esports here, and kind of it's on kind of their shoulders to kind of play, like, give their team space, be somewhat of an initiator, make sure that they're landing their, like, there's a lot of pressure on them because they're so far ahead in comparison to the rest of their team, that now, like, it's kind of like they need to be Goku in a team of Krillins.
Yeah, a team of Krillins and Yamchas as
Yeah, yeah,
Goku
yeah, yeah, yeah.
is trying desperately. I know a little bit of.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We got Krillin, we got Tien Shinhan, we got Chaozu, and we got Yamcha. Tien Shinhan is Alistar. Oh no, Alistar is Chaozu. Jin is
You have
Tien
lost me
Shinhan.
at this point. I'm gonna be
Don't,
real.
don't worry. Those, if you know, you know. Discrepancy here might be knowing a little bit more here. He's gonna have to use Onslaught of Shadows in order to get away from the Ornhorn here, but that's
That's
the call from the red team. Immediately going over to the Baron here.
Yeah, because that's a major engage tool down, and really there are other engage options there. You have the Amumu ready, and that is a really easy engage opportunity. The Ornhorn hasn't really done much for them in these fights. They've won it regardless of how it's been used. So I don't think they're really worried about trading that. On the other hand, the fights that Ragnarok have won have been because of the, oh no, discrepancy.
Yeah, this is a whole lot of damage here. Ender's Game is trying to get into the pit, trying to at least interrupt the fight as
Get
best they
out.
can, but they're not going to be able to do so. Now they have to run for their lives. The game is on the line here. They got the Baron pup, and now they're looking for more. They're going to be able to find one here. Zark is going to dash forward looking for Wolfman, going to be able to find the next 1, 2, 3, 4 members of the blue team go down. And now with Baron buff available and the upgraded Bel'Veth, they're going to march down this mid lane and start hitting these Nexus turrets, maybe.
Yeah, that is a rough fight from beginning to end there with the Onslaught of Shadows being used. It was the immediate call. Like, they've lost their major engage. Discrepancy has been the one reason they've been able to win fights with that. And now with the Bel'Veth Remora, goodbye. That is the end of the game.
Yeah, this is going to be the last-ditch effort here. The Onslaught of Shadows comes through. That's going to be a great pulverize from Alistar here, but now has to fight through a Katarina ultimate. Not going to be able to live this time. There's still 5 members strong for the red team. They're diving on a Wolfman, man. There's no turrets left to defend you. King Demon's still looking for more. They're still looking for more and more as they get another kill onto the Alistar here. Ethereal Ice, the one savior of the team, can't keep them alive much longer. GG, well played. Game number 1 goes over to ZMG Venom.
Yeah, ZMG Venom looked great from start to finish. I do want to see. So there is a strong asterisk on this game, in my opinion, for ZMG Venom, because so much of that early game came from mistakes on Ragnarok. And they were playing champions that were snowbally champions. You get those kills onto the Ornn, he starts to get tanky really, really early. Bel'Veth gets going early. The Somira went insane early on. So I feel like there's a bit of an asterisk on this win for ZMG. They played it well. They played it intelligently once they had that lead, but I want to see what they do when they don't just get fed those early kills and how they earn those kills themselves, because I don't feel like they really earned them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is I agree with the asterisks here. Like, once they got ahead, like, they definitely knew how to play the game. They were making the right calls, right? And Ragnarok, even though they fell behind early with those kind of big blunders here, they were still playing relatively confidently and still going toe to toe with ZMG Venom and some of these team fights here. They were even able to close this gap just a little bit more, right? And a lot of these games, in games that around the gold level, feel kind of coin flippy. That sometimes you just get the win early and then it's over, right? But still, Ragnarok, still played relatively well considering the circumstances. So if this is a game where ZMG Venom is more proactive in these early games in this early game and find these advantages, then we'll have to see how this game 2 plays out.
Yeah, I want to see how they actually earn themselves an early win, and I also just want to see what happens if they do fall behind early, because that's a whole different ball game at that point. If you have an Ari, like so much of what Ragnarok's team composition was looking to do was a pretty solid mid game spike. Jin, Ari, Hecarim, these are all champions that are like, all right, we hit our one two items spikes here and we become unkillable machines that can also get pretty deep into that backline there. So that really would have changed things if this game had gone even into the mid game. We might have seen a bit more from the Ari and Jin. We just didn't see it this game.
Right, for sure. But with that, we are going to take just a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be in picks and bans of game number 2 of Ragnarok Esports Skull up against ZMG Venom. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to season 12 of Style Esports. My name is Shinkari, and we've got ZMG Venom versus Ragnarok Esports Skoll. Game number 2. Picks and bans ready for you here today. We've got Thousand Eyes on the cast with me, and we're ready to go in these picks and bans. Are you excited, Thousand Eyes?
I'm breathing. uh, I look after last game. I will be honest that it is a little bit hard to be excited.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are some definite play style changes that need to differentiate between this game and last game in order for there to be any real competitive game, I feel like. But I do think that those are mistakes that can be learned from pretty quickly. So we'll see if Ragnarok can learn from those, move forward, and we'll see what happens in game 2 here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think to me, like you can't go into this game as ZMG Venom and pick a same comp and expect to get that ahead early again, right? I'm begging you, please do not play like like you're going to get a lead like that again. It could happen, and it would be great to have some champions to uh be able to capitalize on that kind of very early advantage. But at the same time, it's just, you can't play like that going into this next game here. So we'll see if ZMG Venom tries to draft a similar composition. Orin and Amumu are still available, even if Samira and Belveth are banned away. Katarina is still on the table as well. Let's see if ZMG Venom wants to draft a similar composition. And Sivir is the first pick.
Yeah, Sivir, this is post the rework, so this will be interesting. Obviously, is much more of the on-hit focus style as she has been changed and adjusted to fit that a bit more. And I think that works well as well just with what ZMG were kind of doing. It's a different style of composition, but ultimately is looking to accomplish the same thing. It is a team fight composition. It is a let's push our R buttons and win these team fights style of composition. Ragnarok, on the other hand, getting a little bit more lane presence than I think they did have last time.
Yeah, for sure. Is now Ragnarok Skoll looking for a Tristana Maokai? Is this going to be a support Maokai, or are we going to see an Imperial Mandate Maokai this game?
I don't know. Oh my goodness, the scoreboard is broken again. Cool.
Love to see it.
Love to see it. Love to see it a
Love to
lot.
see it. Love to see it. Technology, you would love to you'd love to get rid of it and just have it just work, but sometimes it's just it just doesn't. As ZMG Venom here gonna lock in the Seraphine. I think I like that a whole lot with the Sivir. You have a very actually pretty supportive bot lane, and
Yeah.
the only problem to me is that this bot lane looks like it's just kind of conceding the early game and is just like, you know what, our laning phase is whatever. We're just gonna move on, and it's
Well,
fine.
what really scares me with this bot lane is a flash W from Maokai alongside a strong early game jungler. This is going to be a complete travesty on the bot lane there, as you're going to see just engage after engage there, and they're going to get so much damage down. And your counter gank is a Shyvana, which pre-6 is not going to bring you much of anything in terms of protection here. So you get an early aggressive jungler here, and you get Tristana the opportunity to hit those bombs and fully complete those bombs. That bot lane can go wrong very, very quickly.
Yeah, for sure. Is now we're seeing a Shyvana locked in for ZMG Venom here. Definitely an interesting pick. I don't think we've seen a whole lot of Shyvana recently, but I feel like when we see her, it's definitely that AP build that I'm gonna breathe fire on you and you're gonna take a million damage. You're not gonna understand why, and it's gonna be
Not
a giant
anymore.
AoE. Not anymore.
Not anymore. So it is still E max, but it is a more tank style. It is a bruiserish type of build where you're gonna go for the so you're gonna max E, you're gonna go for the Frostfire Gauntlet, and you're gonna
Mhm.
go press the attack. And
Okay.
from then on, then you're gonna build Dasher's Tooth, then you're gonna build Blade of the Ruined King, and you're gonna have some damage to back up yourself, but you're also gonna be a lot more beefy, and you're gonna be able to stay in the fight a little bit longer than you would if you were just, the obliterate people with a fireball
Right.
style of Shyvana.
Not to mention you get big. You get big. You get plus size for every legendary item you build after getting the Frostfire Gauntlet.
I forget that's like a thing for anybody other than Tom Kench because it's never relevant, really.
God, I mean, well, it's gonna be relevant for Shyvana. Her dragon form is gigantic.
Yeah, but it's like it was already big.
Yeah, but
Like,
now it's
like, like,
bigger.
okay, let me put it this way. No ability really has a hitbox that grows in size like Tom
Uh-huh.
Kench with the growth on the actual champion. So like I only ever think about it with Tom Kench. I forget that it's relevant for anybody else. Regardless, we have the two horned helmet boys out for ZMG Venom. Not able to pick those as a Swain looks like it's going to be the pickup in the mid lane. A little bit of a just trade off of the fairly utility team fight focused mid laners here that are just going to go back and forth, farm up, and be fine.
Yeah, it's interesting from ZMG Venom here. I feel like there's a lot of setup here, but maybe not enough follow through. Like maybe like it seems like the setup here is Seraphine and Sivir, and then the follow through is Swain, and
Yeah,
then
it feels like everybody's going and then you reach the end and there's no
yeah,
finish. There's no actual damage behind this composition.
yeah.
I get what you're saying. I think if one of these champs gets fed in the early game, then you've got some damage. But
Hmm.
that's really kind of what you're leaning on. Alawi got to be the final pick here, which I'm not actually certain how she plays into Shen. I don't know enough about that matchup at all.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting. Alawi once again, just a very very interesting champion. It's another one that we don't see a whole lot. So when Alawi comes out, like it just becomes more of an interesting game. It's hard to say, but once again, like Shen versus Alawi, it's an odd matchup because all the advantages that Shen normally has against melee champions doesn't actually exist for Alawi, right? Like Alawi doesn't have to fight Shen, just needs to fight Shen's soul, right?
Yeah. I mean, he can still make the soul dodge. If he's close enough, he can put the W down and dodge out on some stuff, but I don't feel like it's enough to really stop Alawi from doing her thing. The big thing that's scary about this is you have to remember that Shen will TP out. Alawi cannot stop that, and Alawi wants people to come to her. So it feels like they're kind of just gonna be going away from Alawi, and then, well, she's never really gonna actually take use of her ultimate. You can focus on that top side, you can bring the jungler up there, but why would you when you're up against an Alawi? Shen's just gonna wait till 6, TP bot lane with his ultimate, and then Alawi just never really does what she's meant to do here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it is going to be interesting. I do actually like the Alawi here, right? Because you do have a lot of kind of big AoE setup with the Maokai, and there's a lot of disruption as well, which is going to make Alawi's job just a little bit awkward with the Gragas. But like, honestly, Gragas could just like hold on to that ultimate until like the situation goes bad, right? Gragas doesn't need to throw out the explosive cask, right? The damage is already there with Alawi, Ari, and Tristana. You don't need to use it for like some sort of burst combo, and then it's only necessary unless the opponent is like dogpiling on top of you and your team can't handle it, right? So like, even though there's kind of this nombo here between Gragas and Alawi, it still feels like this team is still mostly fine from a conceptual standpoint with Ragnarok Esports here. I
Yes.
think this is I think this is very good. I do think it's really funny. So if Tristana and Alawi are fighting together, Alawi could rip out someone's soul, beat it up a little bit, and then if they go into fight, Tristana could knock them away and then instantly get them to be like have to deal with tentacles.
I that is a
It's
lot invested for a very minimal reward, I feel like. I
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a whole lot to be invested for a very minimal reward, but the interaction is there, and
Yeah.
it's kind of funny.
Okay. One thing I do actually want to give the caveat here is there's a lot of Ragnarok Esports' composition is built around burst windows. Tristana Ari is their damage in this composition, and they're cooldown based, really. Tristana late game will do consistent damage, but in the early to mid game, it is focused on that bomb, so she has to play around that cooldown. You have a Shen that will have a shield to give to somebody, a Swain that is going to be really hard to kill in a team fight, a Shyvana that's going to get beefy, and Seraphine with a shield, Sivir with a spell shield. There is a lot of mitigation here that can bait Ragnarok in and then have that more consistent damage with the Swain, Shyvana, Sivir, turn it around and make things work. I think CMG Venom had that opportunity. I just really worry about the pre-6 laning phases of these champions because I feel like across the board, they're a lot weaker.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I think we talked about ZMG Venom kind of not really having the follow through, and I think the last thing I wanted to talk about that was like normally Swain would be the follow through, right? But after the Swain rework, where is his ultimate is the power in the ultimate isn't the damage that it does, but the fact that it's just constantly up, right? It seems like it's always happening. This every single
Yes.
second that Swain is in that fight, he just keeps getting more and more value out of that ultimate, right? There's no more initial burst of damage. There's no longer huge burst windows that Swain goes through. It's just like getting this consistent ultimate damage out. And
It's about
if you're
longevity.
yeah,
That's what
and it
ZMG Venom's comp really just is.
yeah. But to me, it's kind of It's just kind of weird because even Shyvana with this kind of Iceborne Gauntlet build does a lot of times go for Demonic Embrace, still goes
Yeah.
for AP damage, is still going to have, and in that kind of comp, Shyvana is still looking for that kind of burst window to do a whole bunch of damage and follow up and get the kill, right?
Yeah.
Sivir even with the new boomerang blade and a lot of the things scaling off of crit is going to have a lot of burst damage out of the window, right? So if we're looking for these small kind of windows here for burst damage, and then here's Swain, who's just like, hi, hello, I'm gonna do like an eensy beensy bit of damage. I'm not gonna do any sort of burst window.
Yes. I think really the question is just how long is this game going to go? Can
Right.
ZMG Venom keep it going until that kind of late game area where the fact that these champions will stay alive for so long is what really makes the difference in these fights? Or are we going to see Ragnarok take a solid lane lead into the mid game and burst these champions out before they have an opportunity to really make their composition as a whole work and keep themselves alive for that long time? Because if you catch Seraphine out of position, she's just going to die. Or if you force the Shen ult out earlier, if you force the Swain ult out early, that's really the big question. Can they force these big, team fight style ultimates off cooldown when they're not really looking to use them and force them to be used defensively, thanks to the fact that they have earned enough of an early lead?
Yeah, for sure. But I think we are going to take just a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be on the rift of game number 2 of ZMG Venom up against Ragnarok Esports Skoll. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Style Esports Season 12. My name is Shinkari. I'm joined by Thousand Eyes, and here we are on the Rift of game number 2 of ZMG Venom up against Ragnarok Esports Skoll. And here we are. We got a line of scrimmage in the river one more time. ZMG is on the blue side. Esports Skoll. Ragnarok Esports is going to be on the red, and we are ready for this game 2 to get underway. Are we going to see a game number 3, or is ZMG Venom going to close it out here 2-0? Those questions and more will be answered this match. Thousand Eyes, are you ready?
Is that one of the questions being answered this match?
Yes, that is one of the questions being
Okay,
answered.
I want to make sure that I do that. I don't want to answer the wrong questions.
Yeah.
It's very important that we answer, the correct questions going into this game here.
Yes.
As junglers will be starting both on red buff individually.
Okay, but you didn't answer the question.
You know what? That's a good point.
Yeah.
Man. Okay. I think I'm ready.
Okay,
I think I'm ready.
Okay, yes. Okay. All right, great. Okay, awesome.
Both junglers starting on red buff here, which does insinuate that they're going to be starting, pushing towards opposite sides. I think for Shyvana, this is great. You want to just farm. You're looking to get level 6 as soon as possible. For Gragas, this is also pretty nice because it means you're not going to be dealing with a Shyvana trying to counter your gank at all, and you're going to look to try and take advantage of this bot lane that's a little bit squishy and can be caught out of position here if they push up too far. You've got the Flash W on that Maokai, has the Aftershock, so will get pretty beefy here. And you get the Flash W with a Gragas E, Tristana jumping in on top. A Spell Shield is not going to be enough to save you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is going to be an interesting start. I mean, I would have liked Shyvana to path her way down to bot lane here, because getting more control over this bottom half of the map means that you can secure these dragons more easily, right? And securing dragons is very, very important for Shyvana.
I agree with that, but I don't think you can in the early game here. I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's a realistic thing to look for here. Important to note too, Sivir's Spell Shield no longer gives that mana back, so you're not going to be able to farm that as easily. It does give health back, so you can farm it for health, but if you're running low on mana, you're not going to be able to farm it like you would previously, and it is just going to be a little bit rougher if you're running out of mana on this Sivir.
Yeah, for sure. As you know, this is going to be certainly an interesting match. Oh no, there's so many tentacles up there. Oh god. We pan up to top lane for one moment. Directed camera being a bot lane main for 2 seconds. This is certainly going to be a really tough time for Leo the Ravager here. Is already going in.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that return damage was still pretty good.
Yeah, no, it was. But I mean, still, Leo looks to be at least understanding of how to play this correctly, playing around those cooldowns, and especially if there's anything anybody should know about playing against Alawi, it is play around the E cooldown. You can see, if I am Zark and Marty right now, I am like, okay, something's funky because they're holding the wave really hard in the mid lane here, that they are tanking up damage. There was a gank coming from both Ahri and Gragas. Discrepancy now going back to the mid lane.
Oh, yeah, they're in a whole lot of trouble here. First blood for Ethereal Ice. Discrepancy comes out big. That is what we want to see. Really good, successful ganks coming out from Discrepancy in this game number 2.
Well, and it's also a lot because the Ahri early game wave control is so much better than the Swain. Swain relies on walking up to that wave with the shotgun fingers. Ahri could just Q, get the wave pushed really easily, and then roam away. They roamed away looking for that bot lane getting a fight.
Yeah, Wolfman here going to be exhausted here, but Marty I'm Scared is taking incredibly low. They're looking for the jump to finally get that kill. Marty I'm Scared is going to flash away. They're going to be able to turn it into a 1-for-1, but Zark 100 in the bot lane is going to be able to find a second kill for themselves. 1-0-1 on the Sivir, 1-1-1 on the Seraphine. It's 2-1 down the bot lane.
Yeah, the engage happened on the Seraphine. They kind of just left Sivir to do her own devices. They exhausted the Seraphine as well in that fight, which I don't think is really the call you want to be doing here. Sivir able to just get the ricochets through just without any kind of pressure. an easy pickup for Sivir to make that kill happen. And now with all of the summoners down, the combat summoners at least, other than the flashes on both AD carry, this should be a glaring signal here. I think a discrepancy could show they can try and make this back into a lane they can win, but that's really unfortunate because we talked about, hey, this team needs to be able to get into the mid game pretty evenly in order for their tankiness to actually be tankiness against the team that Ragnarok Esports have put together. And the fact
Yeah.
that they're already starting to falter a little bit is unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, I won't talk too much. I think this to me is the most important. I've already maybe done a little too much hyping up of this kind of this, but like dragons being taken away from Shyvana is very important. I'm loving this play from Discrepancy here, immediately making the call onto this very early Ocean Drake. The second it spawned, they were right on top of it, and that is a very good heads up play here. And Shyvana really can only just kind of counter jungle away camps from Gragas here.
Yeah, that's really the best option there, and I think that kind of just goes to show the early presence that the Tristana, Maokai, and the Gragas can really have. We're still waiting on the level 6. Maybe once that level 6 hits, we could start to see a little bit more pressure on those dragons. But the early dragons being picked up, and also just the recognition that, hey, we have the pressure right now. Even though we lost that fight bot lane, we still are stronger as a 3-person unit.
As now Rodless is looking to stop Zark 100 from the damage here, but they're still doing so much. Maokai and Tristana are having just such a tough time even walking up to this wave. Even underneath the turret, they're taking so much damage.
Yeah, it's really seeming to be rough along the board here. Ari doing well in terms of the kill advantage right now, but is down in farm thanks to the roaming that has been done. Doing pretty solidly up here too, but Shen does have some farm to catch up on here in this wave. So it feels like there really isn't as much of an advantage as Ragnarok Esports may have wanted out of these lanes. And that just means the scaling's going to continue here as Zark and Marty are just able to lay down fire all throughout this and make it really difficult for Wolfman to fight.
Yeah, Marty, I'm scared now underneath the turret here. Going to go down to Rodless. But that's the look at the mid lane here. That's going to be an immediate follow-up. It's a 1-for-1. It's a 2-for-1 across the map here. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yeah, that I feel bad for Hellblaze there because that's one of those moments where you're just like, I guess I just die.
Yeah.
You don't really have many options there. The double flash from the mid lane and jungler there, both Ari flat and Greg is flashing in and getting the charm, the body slam in as well. Hellblaze did not really have much option there. Marty, I'm scared, kind of just getting a little bit too close to the sun in that bot lane and falling thanks to the engage from Rodless, but Rodless still falling in the process. Not tanky really, is really just relying on that aftershock. And with where the Sivir currently is, she's going to outpace anything Maokai can try and tank right now.
Yeah, it's not Marty. I'm scared might be in some trouble here. Ethereal Ice already throwing down the Ignite as well. Going to get a whole bunch of burst damage here. Going to
So
get
close.
the root is good. Going to pull them closer. Shotgun fingers. So that's going to be the explosive cast coming through. The Swain ultimate has been popped as now Rodless joins the fight as well. King Demon is here. Does have that level 6. Will they be able to enter the act? There's the dragon form we've been waiting for. Going to get a bit of damage onto Rodless. Scare them off just a little bit. But now they have to get away as they are able to just turn it into a wash. As now Zark is in some trouble. It's a good body slam over the wall here. They're going to get through the explosive barrel there. They're going to be able to get away from that as well, but a whole lot of summoners and ultimates have been spent.
Yeah, a lot burned there just to disengage. And like you said, the Shyvana ult used, the Swain ult used, so much used in terms of team fight pressure. Now Zark has to be kind of careful because they're looking to maybe go for a dive. Shyvana will not be able to do as much as she is losing that dragon form very shortly. And Marty, I'm scared, still waiting on that level 6 in order to continue a fight with that encore.
Yeah, I mean this is gonna be pretty tough. I mean, Marty, I'm scared is running into a bit of problems that we saw from the other team earlier today as Ender. Oh my gosh. You just got you.
Lowy.
That's just the walk away.
Yeah.
This is Alawi gameplay right here. You force
I,
them underneath their own turret, and you still get to beat the crap out of them.
yeah. What it is you just got allowied and you just play the stick bug music. That's really it. Yeah, no, that's really all it is. Fight on the bot side here.
Yeah, Marty, I'm scared, is really frightened right now. They're taking incredibly low. Ignite is ticking 1-2 easy kills for WP Wolfman and a shutdown to boot. This Tristana 2-1-2 right now. So they might be able to find another kill here, but King Demon and Hellblaze are going to take a run for their lives here.
Such a very needed shutdown in that bot side there as Tristana gets the 2 kills. Finally getting into this game and will have at least some level of a mid game going into the rest of it, as not only with that bot lane giving the kills to the Tristana and giving her gold, but you've also got the dragon spawning just now, will give a chance now to shove another dragon away from this Shyvana unless she goes for a steal.
Yeah, and it looks like she's making her pathway there. She's sitting on top of the blast zone right now. Yeah, she has to blast cone into the pit. Excuse me. She has to blast cone into the pit and then ultimate her way out. It looks like the threat of her stealing the Drake, the threat of her entering, is enough to get them to scare away. Is up in the top lane. Leo the Ravager, once again, fighting Ender's Gamer, but, you know, this is, once again,
they pushed them away. What happened? Wait, why did the bot lane back? What?
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Okay. Referee timeout. I need to know what the hell just happened. We went top lane and Alawi was like, yeah, I'm just gonna tentacle you back and forth. And then we went back and suddenly they just kind of gave up on the dragon.
Yeah, it was an interesting call. I mean, they are pretty much ahead. And they had the numbers advantage as well.
Like,
it was like
bot lane needed the back. I don't disagree with that, but like I still think you could have taken that fight. You had the pressure there. You were able to keep them out of the pit. I don't know what exactly happened. I wasn't paying fully attention. I kind of just expected it to be, if we see the steal, we see the steal. And then just all of a sudden, they Harry Houdini'd themselves out of there, and we just saw blue team take the dragon.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly is interesting here. Is now Leo the Ravager in some trouble here. Discrepancy doing a good job of cutting off these exit paths right here. Leo the Ravager, that's going to be the ultimate coming down from Alawi here as well. King Demon is going to come in. That's going to be the explosive cast, knocking them away. Ender's Gamer's looking for a little bit more, but Leo the Ravager has to watch, duck, dive, and weave. Let's see. I'm going to take a look at Leo the Ravager. Let's see. Okay, they're going to be able to get away from this time. No tentacle is going to claim their life this time, but down in the bot lane. Okay, Proudless is going to be snared up. They're going to be fighting over some wards for a little bit.
Pushing away there. Oh, no, we're fighting.
Wait a minute. Wolfman looking for a little bit more. That's going to be the Maokai ultimate coming across. Seraphine only lands onto Rodless here. Jumping on top of Zark. It's going to get a little bit more damage for themselves. Knocks them away. Jumps on top. Zark. Oh, going to be able to find the kill. Shutdown as well. They turned into a double kill for Rodless. But, man, this is still kills not going onto the right person onto the bot lane here.
Yeah, it's unfortunate on that one that both kills go over to the Maokai. However, I really want to give a lot of credit to Wolfman for that fight because waited perfectly for that encore to come through, flashed over the wall to make sure that he dodged it and did not get hit by that Seraphine. That is what made that fight possible there is don't hit the tower when Shen's there.
Okay, King Demon here, now looking for the kill on Ender Gamer. Not going to be able to get that Flyer Blast there, but they're still looking for a little bit more. They're Ethereal Ice doing a good job of body blocking for their teammates.
Oh my god.
Ender's Gamer does live to tell the tale.
If that had been a fireball onto the Alawi earlier instead of the Ari, that might have been a kill because there were potions ticking that entire time. I'm a little frustrated about that one. You gotta go on to the Alawi there, try and get the kill there. Ari's just gonna dash away. You're not gonna catch her.
Yeah, it was a really, really close kill, but I think at the end of the day, like, not a whole lot was spent, right? Like,
my sanity.
I mean, but that happens every time we cast. So, you know, whatever. Who cares? Get over it.
Damn, you're such a good friend, Shinkari.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
really
if look, I just want to say, like, if every time you're just gonna be like, oh my gosh, oh my brain, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's just how it's gonna be. Like, sometimes it do be like that, and when we're in style esports, sometimes it's like all the time, and then I don't know what to tell you.
I
So I
guess
did
I
want to
will
say
just
that they, even though they weren't able to get the kill, the big W is that they're still able to get the Rift Herald up in that top lane. That's really good. As Marty, I'm scared.
Whoa.
Ooh, yikes! Yeah, you're gonna have to flash that.
Yeah. Correctly being scared in the
Yep.
bot lane and flashing over that wall, just all over this bush vision. One of the things that I think, even if you're going full tank support Maokai, you got to take into account is those saplings will give vision. They are really good at giving vision and giving you the time to back away from a jungle gank. Etherealize down here. Marty, I'm scared about to just die.
Oh yeah, Marty, I'm dead. More like is gonna be picking up the kill down the bot lane. Just an easy 1-2 punch. The rest of the red team is down there, and this is really, really good timing because that dragon is spawning in about 30 seconds. They're gonna have the numbers advantage pretty early on. They even have the vision advantage already. So this is really, really good timing by Esports Skoll here, by Ragnarok Esports here.
Yeah, they
Now,
gotta watch though.
oh, yeah. Hellblaze is in some trouble. Here comes King Demon to give them a little bit more space, but not going to be able to do so, as Tristana's going to be able to find a kill in the bot lane as well. King Demon still looking for a little bit more, trying to chase discrepancy as best they can, but they're going to get charmed up. They're still looking for it. Fire blast over the wall. Shut down for Shyvana. Going to be able to put another kill into that pocket right there. And we were talking about getting these kind of well-timed kills, but they just got a kill on a jungler right as Dragon spawned.
Yeah, they got one kill there for Ragnarok, and they just kind of kept going there when they really didn't need to. As King Demon kind of back away here now, will have to back himself. Nobody's getting this dragon for a long time. Is what I'm learning here. As the big thing like to keep in mind there is just that Shyvana was kept alive, able to just get damage down, take out the Gragas at the end of that. Etherealize.
King Demon, no.
God, buddy.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well,
no
they didn't get hit by
electrocute.
the second half of the orb, so they're still relatively healthy. But now they have to back, and Gragas has respawned. So this is going to be like a really easy pickup for the red team here on this Earth Drake.
So that is assuming that they are positive that the Shyvana has backed. They are going to go for it. It looks like they either have some idea or are just taking the risk that Shyvana has backed. She is going to get back into this fight here. There's the possibility she's able to get in on this dragon.
Yeah,
they are going to see it.
They do have Stand United available, so if King Demon wants to go over the wall, they do have a lot of ultimates available. That's going to be the snare. That's going to be the the big call across the wall. Are they going to be able to get it? The smite fight, they lose it. The red team is going to be the one picking up the Drake here. Now the fight starts. Rodless is stuck in the pit, and that's a shutdown for Shyvana. Hellblaze is still looking for a little bit more. They're going to be able to clear through. They're going to, that's a really, really big shutdown, and on an pretty easy kill too, as well. As now they're going to make their way mid lane as Leo the Ravager is just having an awful time up in this top lane.
Yeah, we have not seen a Stand United yet, to my knowledge, unless it has been something directly in lane that we have missed. Actually, no, it definitely went on cooldown. I just don't know what for. But yeah, that is another dragon down. King Demon does not get that one. But at the same time, 600 gold to the Shyvana, who's going to be working on this Demonic Embrace, getting beefier, getting more burn damage built into that. It just more and more long-term fight capabilities that we are seeing ZMG pick up here. This composition is starting to come online here, and the gold lead is 2,000 about for Ragnarok. I don't know if that's really going to be enough here, as I think their composition just kind of is going to start slowly losing their power. Their power spikes are kind of falling off here. Tristana at the 2 items, Ari only at 1, and the game is just kind of slowing down. They're not getting the push, the pressure that they need. Look at these towers. Mid lane tower still up. Bot lane tower still up. That top lane tower, yeah, it's low. That tier 2 is low, but they haven't gotten that one yet. It's 1 tower down for both teams. This is not the mid-game power spike that I wanted to see from Ragnarok here.
Yeah, and now they're kind of forced to have Alawi just kind of hang out around the map and kind of be the one person who's actually able to push these turrets with that with the hull breaker, with the demolish as well. They're able to get so much damage on these turrets, and they're so far ahead of Leo the Ravager as well from just all these turrets they've been able to take. So now Hellblaze, are you actually going to be able to find Ronless here? Or is it just some scuffle back and forth? As now Discrepancy is in some trouble. That's going to be the explosive cast coming down as well. WP Wolfman might be in some trouble as well. King Demon is still looking for the fight as well. That's going to be Seraphine Ultimate coming across, but it's not going to be able to fight it. This kiting is insane, but now King Demon might be able to go turn around onto another fighter here. Is now Actress Gamer once again is just walking into whatever lane they want and taking whatever turret they want.
This man is playing a solo RPG right now.
Yep. King Demon now looking for Rodless here. Wolfman coming through, but it's going to be Zark. Ooh, Marty, I'm scared, is going to be the one picking up the kill here, as Ender's Gamer is going to be dealing a whole lot of damage to Leo the Ravager here. Really has to watch out for these tentacles as he's making his way all the way back to the summoner platform, as Alawi just continues to just split push for free in whatever lane they go to.
Yeah, I think this really is going to be the late game presence that we see from Ragnarok Esports. They have that Alawi to just keep pressure on, and Shen's not capable of fighting it. I want to see them go for the Stand United plays. At this point, Shen can't 1v1 the Alawi, can't even keep the towers safe. You're just losing out if you sit there with Shen not using that ultimate, but you can bring him in. You can have a really strong 5v4 that Alawi's not really going to be able to put as much into here. So I want to see the Stand United come through. We just haven't seen enough of it yet.
Yeah, Leo the Ravager playing a little scared when it comes to contesting this,
no.
as now they're in a whole lot of trouble. Going to get knocked into the enemy here. Team here dashing through. Rodless gets the taunt as well. But now the enemy team, yeah, they have a minute for this dragon here. Not going to be able to do anything, but take a look at
Take a look at the health bars on ZMG. They're just bleeding out as they're trying to walk in here. Their lack of defensive vision coming back to bite them, as all that Ragnarok has set up has been huge. And now Zark showing up for this. They're just gonna have to lose this dragon if they're setting their 80 carry up here.
Yeah, in about 45 seconds, we're going to see another dragon fight, and they need to go there. This is the reason why you pick Shyvana. You need to be the dragon stacking team if you want to play the Shyvana, right? The big reason why Shyvana gets so tanky is just through her passive, right? That's why she's able to build just one tank item, and then she becomes unkillable, right? That's what you need to be doing. And if you need your 80 carry to contest an Alawi up in the top lane, then you're going to be losing those fights. You need to make sure that you are trading evenly in order to make through these split pushes as good as now. Zark 100. Oh
my god. Yeah, you can't be walking up there as the Sivir. That is just a mistake. True as it will ever be. And that is really unfortunate too now, because it is once again King Demon trying to go for the steal to get in here.
Yeah, now Ethereal Ice is actually taken pretty low here. Hellblaze might be able to take a beneficial ultimate. That's going to be the ultimate from King Demon coming through here. There's a lot of low HP bars here. Rodless is going to go down to Ignite. Alawi is taking inhibitors over the top lane, so you have to fight. You have to go through this. The button has been pressed. You need to win this. You can't back now. Marty, I'm scared. You got to stay in the fight.
Nice.
Red team picks up the Mountain Drake.
WP Wolfman with the nice buster shot over to get Shyvana away from that and make sure that they could clean that one up at the end. We could not see the Stand United there. If Shen Stand United into that fight, they end up losing their Nexus towers there. That was a lose-lose situation from the beginning that had been set up so very nicely by Ragnarok Esports, forcing the face check out of the Sivir, letting them get that dragon control. And then when they finally do start the fight, yeah, they lose someone in the process, but they are able to continue on that fight and make it so very difficult as they are getting into the pit.
Yeah, now we're taking a look at some of these now we're looking at about 25 minutes of this game, down 3,000 gold. And now Marty, I'm scared. That's a whole lot of damage right here. King Demon can't save you this time. And now with support gone, okay, okay, they're looking to fight here. Alawi is in the bot lane. Zark 100 is going to be able to pick up 1 kill here. They're going to have to keep going, though. Alawi is in the bottom lane. You either have to commit to stopping Alawi or you have to commit to getting this neutral objective. And it looks like they're just going to back away here and play full defense because they have a super minion wave pushing in the top lane.
Yeah, this mid lane tower going to be falling pretty quickly as the inhibitor towers are all that's going to be left. We talked about how there was no tower pressure being picked up immediately. Immediately, Ragnarok got on top of that, and they pushed onto these towers. As you can see, Nexus Tower taking some damage here, and everything being cleaned up by Ragnarok as they leave, as they may look to try and pressure this Baron, or at the very least give the idea that it could be taken and maybe go for something. Oh, Ethereal not paying attention here.
Yeah, immediately has to pop the ultimate here. This might be the go button for the rest of the team to try to look for this Baron here. Discrepancy in some trouble, but dodges around that Swain damage right here. There has to be a decision here. Alawi is making her way towards the bottom half of the map. Obviously, they don't have vision on her, but she's been split pushing the whole game, right? You have to press a go button on something. Right?
Exactly.
The longer that there's some sort of indecision from either of these teams, the more they're going to lose from the Alawi, the more they're going to lose to super minions.
Yeah, and they have the chances to do so. You have the On the Hunt, you have the Stand United, you have an Encore as well. There are opportunities to take these fights and force Alawi to TP in, but they're not really safe to do so because they can't get even their own jungle under control here. They're just trying desperately to clear out vision, and they can't do it. No.
Oh, yeah, that's a great initiation. Marty, I'm scared, already goes down here as Rodless is going to find a great snare onto both Leo and King Demon here. And now look at the bottom half of the map. That's going to be the Stand United onto Shyvana here. It's going to be canceled as she goes down. And now Leo the Ravager is in a bad spot. Now they've lost around the Baron fight. In the Baron pit, and now Swain has to 1v1 this Alawi, who is 3 items deep, does not need a kill in order to show how strong they are in this bottom lane. Look at this right here.
Yeah, Alawi's just gonna completely push this in, and what do you do at that point? Nobody can handle her. It's just you've got to get the engage, but because there's been such strong pressure all over the map, they just cannot figure out where the other 4 are exactly to go for that engage.
Yeah, it's really tough to be able to deal with so much split pressure. It's when you're in these sort of situations, you're going to lose something. So you need to be able to lessen that wound by pressing the go button somewhere else. That's how you deal with split pushers, right? Even though Alawi has teleport, it's really not. Oh no, Marty. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, they're gonna heal a little bit, but that's dash auto attack. Okay,
is the thing though.
yeah. But this is exactly like who would have thought that the Yorick player would be really good at a bruiser who's good at split pushing, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, who'd have thought? As now Leo the Ravager here, stuck between a rock and a hard place here. Leo, we're looking for a little bit more, but not gonna be able to dash away from this. Wolfman is gonna be able to find. Yeah, it's just so rough. It's hard for me to see how ZMG Venom comes back from this, right? Like, they've lost so much to just this Alawi, and now they have Baron buff to boot, and King Demon can't even walk outside their own base without being threatened to die.
Yeah, it's just everything falling apart. They've been holding everything together by strings and duct tape, and slowly but surely it's all starting to fall apart. The cracks are showing and the inhibitor towers are starting to fall. The inhibitors will be next, and with the waves coming in topside, the Nexus towers are also going to be under fire.
Yeah, they need to press the go button somewhere, and if it's in the top lane against Alawi or in the bot lane against this 5v4, they have to make something happen, right? Like they can't just continue to concede these objectives and just let it go, right? Like this probably that mentality probably needed to be happening like 15 minutes ago, right? Like and it's just tough. Yeah, it's just tough now.
Because
now
this happens.
Yeah, because now King Demon is a whole lot of trouble. Explosive cask over the wall. That's WB Wolfman jumping over, going to be able to maybe find the Shyvana. Leo the Ravager has to flash away as well. Going to get a reset on that jump as well, as now that's 2 members down from ZMG, and now The only thing standing between Ragnarok and the W are these
Oh,
Nexus turrets, as
no.
that's already so much damage onto Seraphine. And now they're looking for more. Hellblaze pops the ultimate, trying to heal off the best they can. Rodless is going to go down to the
Where'd he
turrets. Now
go?
WP Wolfman is going to be next to go. Zark 100 is the only member left on the blue team, trying to keep them alive for as long as they can. But Ender's Gamer, either just going to tank up the turret. They don't need a wave. They just need to deal a little bit of damage, let the minions come in, and now the Nexus is the target. They're taking it so low. Zark 100 is trying to hold on for dear life as long as they can, but there's the ace, there's the game, there's the Nexus explosion. Game number 2 goes over to Esports Ragnarok.
Yeah, a really solid game after a struggle in game 1 for Esports Ragnarok, as they really just, or Ragnarok Esports, bleh, messed that up. Could not talk. But after we saw that rough start for them in game 1, you know, I was like, okay, is this going to be the consistent thing? Is that what we're going to see in game 2 as well? Are they going to play too cocky? This time around, they got a little bit rough early on. We didn't see as much pressure in the early part of the game as I was hoping for, but what we did see was really good mid game power spikes, really good mid jungle duo. Discrepancy and Ethereal Ice completely put Swain down, flashing onto him at the same time. The coordination was there, and then with that lead they were able to push that in, allow Tristana then to get the DPS through the fights, and without the dragons, without the beefiness that was needed for the composition, ZMG could not continue on as the game went further.
Yeah, this was just a really, I mean, this was Ragnarok Esports Skoll showing us how they can play the game if they don't fumble super hard within the first few minutes, right? Like this was Ragnarok Esports. Like that last game, that game number 1 was a fluke. This is how we really play, and they really came out on top here. This was really, really good decision making and really, really good play across the board. So hats off to them, but we still have one more game to do, one final bout this evening between ZMG Venom versus Ragnarok Esports Skoll. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with game number 3, picks and bans. Don't go anywhere. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Style Esports Season 12. My name is Shinkari. I'm joined by 1,000 Eyes. We had a real short break, but now here we are. Ragnarok Esports Skoll up against ZMG. We are ready to get these folks underway for game number 3. Here we are in picks and bans. It's the final game of the night. This is the match you've all been waiting for. Will ZMG be able to close this game out and secure their 2-1 victory, or will Ragnarok Esports be able to turn this series around and give us the reverse sweep that we've been waiting for? My name is Shinkari. I'm joined by 1,000 Eyes, and we are ready to get these picks and bans underway.
I am very ready. As we can see, the bands get through here. Nothing too out of the ordinary here, as we saw the Samira game 1, the Belveth as well. Taking those off the board, making sure that CMG can't run that same game 1 comp. ZMG seemingly not afraid of what was run against them in game 2, as they are banning the Yorick and the Lilia as they were in the previous games.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely going to be a match to prove that you are able to do this. I mean, ZMG has to take some of the Yoricks in quote off the table here, because it feels like that was the biggest kind of weakness for them in this game, not being able to manage such a powerful 1v1 split pusher against them. As now Ragnarok Esports gonna lock in the Sivir here.
Yeah, so going for more of what ZMG were running in game 2 here. I'm hoping this is not a trap pick, because that will be really unfortunate. But they are going to lock that one in. I think Sivir is just really good right now. I think she can fit into a lot of compositions, especially what are good around this level, is the Draven's going to be locked in response here, which I was not expecting.
Yeah, ZMG locking in the Draven here. I mean, Draven's really powerful, but it's another one of those feast or famine champions, right? Draven, Draven, because of his passive, when he's up, he's definitely a lot. He's so up. He's so good, right? He has so much gold. He's got so much items. But when he's down, it really does not feel good. But with this Renata Glass clock in, hopefully this gives Draven the opportunity to really stay within this kind of short range that he needs in order to deal that damage and still be relatively safe.
Yeah, so we will see that one locked in. And I think with the Renata Glass, like you said, really good stuff. I like the Bard hover right now. I think Bard works really well with the Sivir, because it is you hit the long range Bardal and Sivir speeds you up to get in. You have the tunnel as well. There are a lot of opportunities to create engage compositions from specific angles that would not exist otherwise. So I do really like this composition. And then, yeah, you get a Gragas on top. Usually Gragas is a little bit finicky, but if you've got the Bardal as well, you can time that really well and get everybody thrown into your team and just make life hell for ZMG here. We'll see what the response is going to be, because if you have Draven Renata being flowed into your team, you need some way to disengage from that, and Renata Glask alone will not be able to do so.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see. I like this Volley Bear lock in as well. Once again, having some good follow-up to that Renata Glask ultimate and being able to help some turret dives as well, because even just going into the top lane, by having these kind of bruisers on the table, this is a very, very good ultimate to help the top laner for ZMG to pop off or once again.
Yeah, this does also give a little bit more for the Draven to work with, right? Because you've got the ability to dive towers. Now, a Bard and Volibear can kind of do the same thing. You can turn off towers. What's interesting is if you're the one getting dove as the Bard, you can basically nullify the Volibear ultimate. Volibear dives in on you, turns off the tower. You're like, okay, that's fine. I'm going to ult myself in my AD carry. And now the exact time that the turret is turned off, we're also invulnerable, kind of negating each other. So that does kind of give a little bit less power to that Volibear. However, you've got Volibear, Draven, Renata. There is so much setup there that it may not matter even if you do have the turret on, because Volibear is going to be beefy. The Draven is going to do so much damage, and Renata will just have ample time to set up that ultimate.
Yeah, for sure. Is now, we're seeing just a little bit more cohesion, in my opinion, for ZMG here. You know, we've been seeing a whole lot of back and forths on how this mid laner wants to be playing. It seems like we've gotten like three completely different champions from ZMG here, from Katarina to Swain and now to Vex here across the series. It seems just like I don't know what the thought process here behind the mid lane picks are.
Yeah, so the Vex is definitely looking to just work with this skirmish engage style here. They can come from a lot of areas and just help this Draven out. It's all kind
Hmm.
of built around the Draven. Vex is going to have that utility. Volibear is going to have that utility, and they can fly in from decent distances as well. So they're gonna have chances to set this up. Vex with that fear, Volibear with that turret turning off. The Ari, the Darius, all of this is kind of setting up. I mean, Darius is a little bit just kind of a solid frontliner as well as a good top lane pick. But the Ari fits in with what the rest of Ragnarok Esports are doing, right? You've got the long range engage. Ari has the dash to follow up on that and get into the fight for that. So there is a solid composition being put together. ZMG, though, also have something really solid. The Trundle's going to be the pickup here for that. I believe it is going to be the Trundle on the top side to really try and negate what this Darius can do. I'm not entirely certain how I feel about that because I'm assuming that this Gragas is going to be building some AP. This is not going to be the full tank Gragas, which means Trundle doesn't have a great target for his own ultimate to be able to steal stats from. You don't
Hmm.
really get that much out of stealing the stats from the Darius or Gragas because it's percentage stats. And if you're just taking them from bruisers, it's not as great.
Yeah, I mean, the only other counter pick I like Trundle for personally is against a comp that doesn't really have a whole lot of mobility, right? If you're able to put down the troll pole and then cut them off from an escape that they can't dash or jump or whatever away from, that's really good, right? However, Ragnarok Esports here have drafted Gragas, they've drafted Ari, and in a way, Darius, you don't exactly want to trap him, right? Because he kind of still wants to 1v1 you, right? It's the situation where Darius asks you the question, am I trapped in here with you or are you trapped in here with me, right? So then the thing becomes, does Trundle's pillar really only stops kind of Sivir and Bard or a low health Darius that is about to die, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and even then the Darius can still heal and still fight you pretty well 1v1 if that's the scenario, right? So some scenarios where Darius is bad to trap, Ari and Gragas dash over the wall, and then Bard and Sivir most of the time are trapped, right? So this is really what I'm going to be looking for to see how this Trundle is going to be played. But for the most part, I agree with you, right? Trundle not going to have a great time being a frontliner along with Volibear here.
Yeah, I think a lot of it relies on ZMG being the ones starting the fight, but so is Ragnarok. So this feels kind of like whichever composition is the one that gets going early is going to be the composition that keeps the foot down on the pedal and keeps things really difficult for the enemy team to get back into the fight. There are chances, there are opportunities for both sides, but it's really they want to be the ones pulling the trigger. And if you're not, well, you better really hope that the other team messes up or doesn't realize that you have more people there than what they were expecting, because you're just gonna get run over like a train if you stand in the way of either of these compositions when they're in their prime.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we really have to see how this game is going to play out for sure. I mean, we've seen Ragnarok Esports kind of be two halves of the same coin, right? We've seen them be in being two halves of the proactive coin here, right? Where you're either proactive and you're very aggressive and you're able to get those good follow-ups, you're able to get those leads that are able to get you forward and more forward in the lead in order to snowball that lead ahead and give yourselves that window to be proactive later. We've also seen them, fumble really, really hard. So it's like you said, if both these teams are going to 5v5 fight, then it's really who's going to get a lead first. And I feel like based on how Ragnarok Esports has been playing game 1 and game 2, right, being that proactive team, are we going to get a game 1 Ragnarok, or are we going to get a game 2 Ragnarok?
So I think if you look at the champions alone, ZMG have a much stronger individual early game because you have Draven Renata, really strong. Volibear on his own, really strong, ganks really well. Trundle, while not going to do great later on in the game, I think early on stealing that AD from the Darius does play a pretty solid part. Because remember, that one also going to be just stealing a bunch from what Darius really needs in order to do his job. I think really what we're going to be looking for is can we see the first snowfall for Ragnarok and have them be the ones moving as a unit first. Ari will outpush Vex. Darius should, in theory, win that matchup against the Trundle, barring jungle intervention. Gragas, though, really strong early game jungler that can kind of throw a wrench into these lanes. And Silver Bard, yeah, okay, they're going to be a little bit weaker in lane than Draven Renata, but like we just said, Gragas can really mess things up for ZMG if they're not respecting the early body slam engage.
Yeah, and Discrepancy has been doing a very good job, if not super telegraphed, that he is very good at finding pathways to cut off exit pathways for people for each lane, right? We every time we've seen Discrepancy gank a lane, we've seen Discrepancy come in the long way to cut off
Yeah.
those escapes, right? And that's really, really important to getting those kills in on those Gragas and whatever lane he's ganking, right? We're gonna see maybe a little bit more favoritism towards the top half of the map because of that, because they're on blue side, right? But this is still going to be a good time for Gragas to be able to do those kind of things. Had success on it in the previous game, and like you said, if ZMG is not respecting the way Discrepancy likes to gank and is not warding accordingly, then this is going to be a tough game for them to win again, right? If they're not getting the leads on the characters that they need to, right? Like this Draven, like the Trundle, right? It's going to be a very, very tough game for them to win, and we might just see another game 2 Ragnarok.
Yeah, that I think is really just the big thing. Can we see Ragnarok do what they did in game 2 and just get out the gate on a good foot, or are we going to see the mistakes happen once again that
Yeah.
gave the opportunity for ZMG to win game 1? That's really going to be the big thing. Will the confidence cost them or will it give them a win?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the only reason why I harp on Ragnarok Esports so much in this particular case is just because of how proactive they play the early game. That's
Yeah.
really it. If you are the proactive team, if you are the ones dictating the momentum of the early game, if you can go either one of two ways, and we've seen both of those ways happen with Ragnarok, but we are not going to harp on it anymore. We are going to take just a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be on the rift of game number 3. Ragnarok Esports Skoll up against ZMG Venom. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Hello and welcome back to Style Esports Season 12. Here we are, the final game of the night in this match. In this best of 3, ZMG is on the red side. We have Ragnarok Esports on the blue, and we've got ourselves the first invade of the series. We're looking for this early level 1. Rodless might be in some trouble. Okay. Ooh, gonna get a good
Bard
start.
things.
Yep, hashtag Bard things.
Look. I'm biased here. I like Bard a lot. I have a lot of mastery points on Bard. I am like around the 800,000 mastery point range for Bard. And yeah, Bard pretty good at dealing with the early game invades. Just stun 2 people and you're pretty good to go as long as you're not the one getting engaged on first.
Yeah. I mean, this was a pretty good defense as well, and it doesn't seem like they were able to really get anything off of that invade either, right? They didn't get any summoners, they didn't really get any vision, right? Like that ward in that bush right there, that doesn't really give you sort of any sort of information. If you take a look at the mini map, like if y'all are watching, you can kite out the chickens in a way that you don't know where discrepancy is starting.
Yeah, that was unfortunately not really gaining a whole lot of info for them, but at the same time, we will see the junglers both starting on the bot side, meaning they're both going to path towards that top, and then we're going to see... Actually, wait, early fights, hold on.
Yeah, Ender's Gamer taking pretty low here. Leo the Ravager flashing forward, getting the chomp, getting the whack. Leo the Ravager getting revenge for the entirety of Game 2.
That is really kind of a unfortunate fight there. That is, you got to pay attention to the summoners there. Ghost Flash is the usual for the Darius, but the Ignite on the Trundle, got to pay attention to that coming in, and Trundle pulls that one out, gets a really nice start for ZMG, and now this is, I think, one of the first times we've seen ZMG get a lead on their own accord.
Yeah, and honestly, if I'm Leo the Ravager, I'd be pissed too. Like, could you imagine how after Game 2, just like, look, guys, I don't know what you need me to pick. I'm just gonna pick the most aggressive thing I can possibly play, and I'm gonna beat the crap out of Ender's Game. I don't know anymore. Okay, I'm just gonna beat him up. I can't go into this game again being a team player. Okay.
Yeah, that is. I mean, look. If it works, it works, and already having Trundle kind of going, Trundle has to go in that lane. If Trundle falls behind, Darius will wipe the floor with him, and Trundle does not do much, like we've said, for the rest of this game. So, meanwhile, on this bot side, it's been a bit of trading back and forth. Calls start for the Sivir, meaning that there really does not want to be any kind of fighting from WP Wolfman and Rodless. They just want to sit back, farm up, and get to this mid to late game without a scratch.
Yeah, which is definitely interesting because WP Wolfman and Rodless have been pretty aggressive here. As oh no, Hellblaze is in some trouble here. Gonna pop that W in order to get the shield. They might be able to live this. Ari's going to have to flash. They want to look for anything here, but here's that top lane. Ender's Gamer stuck between a rock and a hard place here, fighting Leo the Ravager underneath the turret. But this is the situation we were talking about. Are you stuck in here with me? You are stuck in here with me, as now he's looking for maybe the 2-for-1, but he's not going to be able to find it. Here comes Discrepancy into the bot lane here, looking for Zark 100. Going to be able to get the body slam. The flash was a little short there, and now they're going to get stunned up, taken low. WP Wolfman comes out huge.
Yeah, really, really nice play on the bot side there. Waiting for that body slam, getting the flash out, getting the stun on the Bard, and then everybody backing away so that WP Wolfman can get that one. Oh no, the missed charm!
Yeah, the flash there as well. Hellblaze gonna throw out a real big punish onto Ethereal Ice here. It's not gonna be able to get the kill, but Discrepancy. What are we doing? Okay, we're just vibing. We're vibing. It's okay.
Fat man in a small lane, and he just wants to get the minions under the tower.
Look, he's not fat. He's just a giant.
He's objectively fat. Like,
okay, but I don't know what to tell you. He's just like canonically bigger than a lot of the other champions.
He can be both. They're not mutually exclusive.
Look, I just don't know why you would body shame on cast.
Not body shaming. There's nothing wrong with being fat. I'm fat, for God's sake.
In the top lane here, Ender's Gamer finally got just a little bit of breathing room here. Is now Leo the Ravager. I don't know, they can 1v1 anymore. And Ender's Gamer was like, hey, I heard you like 1v1ing me too.
Yeah, unfortunately, without that ignite and the early game cheese there, Trundle not gonna win out on those trades there. Bard up here a little bit as Leo the Ravager might be in
Yeah.
a little bit of trouble. We'll see if Bard wants to try and make something funky happen. He's going over the wall and he was not seen on the ward.
Ooh, Rodless pulling a discrepancy here. Gonna throw out the slow. Leo the Ravager taking actually
Just
incredibly
take him
low here.
out.
The
Just
ghost has
get him.
popped as well. Yeah, just
It's
get
all
just get it.
yours.
Just get it. Flash.
Yeah.
Boom. Rodless picks it up.
Solo kill.
Yeah.
This is technically
even-
a solo kill.
Yeah, didn't KS because there wasn't anything to steal.
How can you steal something when it's already his? So
Yeah.
Rodless,
Big brain.
yeah, Rodless looking real good on the Bard there, and that's actually like a really smart roam there. You kind of think about it more from. Ooh, okay, that was a little bit close.
Yeah.
But yeah, you think about it a little bit more from tank supports or engaged supports that want to get up towards that top side. Bard, when he roams, you're usually thinking like, okay, he's just gonna roam to pick up chimes. Going up towards that top lane, really good stuff, and sometimes that damage is the difference maker, as it was for that Trundle kill.
Bard, the difference maker. Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, see, my solo queue teammates say that about my Bard, but it's usually the opposite difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like instead of getting a positive result in the subtraction there and the difference, it is just a negative result net.
Yeah. Bard, the losing maker.
Yeah,
This is
Every time
trying
I
to be a
push my R.
Mentos reference, but it's
Yeah.
it's really not working out.
It's really not.
Yeah, I'm real upset about it. I thought it was really funny. In my head, I was chuckling a whole lot. Man, this is what happens when you start a call in the bot lane, and there's only a whole lot of fighting in the top side of the map. You just
Never has a kill.
the small brain Shinkari happen. Small brain
Is
Shinkari
that when
comes
it
out.
happens?
Yeah, that's when it happens.
I hadn't noticed.
Yeah, it's like a summoning circle.
Yeah.
Is there a cull built? Yes. Are there not a lot of kills on the map? Yes. Okay. Boy.
IQ.
Hello.
Yeah. IQ drop.
IQ drop. Hello.
King
How you
Demon here
doing?
now.
Yeah,
Fighting, but-
discrepancy.
Yeah.
Ooh, might be in some trouble here. That's
Ooh.
going to go through the fear. Ooh, dodges around the fear actually pretty well here. Flashes
Hold
over
on.
the wall. King Demon's in some trouble here. Here comes Rodless over the wall. That double stun is not going to happen here, but the slow is still pretty good here. Flashing forward, looking for a little bit more. Wolfman's here as well. Hellblaze is in some trouble, having to flash away. Ethereal Ice still has some dashes, but not a whole lot of mana. The charm is good. Going to be able to get that zombie mode as well. Going to be able to keep alive for just a little bit longer, but not going to be able to get the kill. Wolfman comes out on top, going to be able to grab a kill for themselves.
I want to give a huge shout out to Discrepancy there for body slamming the Vex ult as it hit, which canceled out a lot of the fear. Like the fear still happened, but because it was during the body slam animation, it doesn't cancel it. And that basically kind of nullified a lot of that. Hellblaze basically could not get the fear down. And that meant that you saw King Demon and Hellblaze have to chase so far down in order to try and get that kill. And they ended up losing out because of that.
Yeah, for sure. Is now Ender's Gamer fighting 1v1 against Leo the Ravager inside the Trundle zone as well. 5 stacks of the passive. I don't think you're going to live through this, bud. Yeah, especially with no potions. Ender's Gamer once again being the 1v1 champion up in the top lane.
Ender's the other person's gamers coming down there. That's
8
is
out
where
of
that
10.
name came from. Yeah,
8 out of
thank you.
10. 8 out of 10. That was good. That was a good one. I
That's
like that
8
one.
more than I usually get, so I'm doing great today.
We love to see it. We love to see it. As now, yeah, with this top lane tempo and with discrepancy up there, this is a very, very easy Rift Herald take.
Yeah, we'll pick that one up, and all objectives kind of just going everywhere right now with the power that we've seen from the Darius in the top side does make it a lot easier to grab those objectives. But right now, I think everybody kind of just trying to. It's weird because you look at ZMG and they've got like probably the stronger mid game composition, but they've kind of already fallen behind compared to the later scaling that I would say that you have in this Sivir Ari Bard style comp here. You're looking at a real strong mid game spike with Vex engage, Volibear, Draven. I don't know if we're ever gonna hit that at this point because it might just get outscaled before we even are supposed to see any of it.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see for sure. This server is almost finished on the call, and like you said, like this game might end relatively quickly with how much power is in the bot lane and in the top lane right now. And we're kind of seeing like a repeat of game 1. It's just this time it's for Ragnarok Esports here. It's not because
Yeah,
it's not because that they've fumbled, right? Let's be very clear. Venom has not fumbled this game at all. This is not like
yeah.
what we saw in game number 1 with Ragnarok, right? This is really just Ragnarok getting the leads that Venom saw in game number 1 of their own volition.
Yeah. There's definitely still opportunities to turn things. They have the engage potential to do so. But
Mhm.
Volibear is sitting down bot, doesn't get that gank off, so a little bit of wasted time. Is Dragon ready to go? With the push on that bot side though, Draven and Renata will be able to walk up there successfully. This is where we might see a fight happen. Good.
Ooh, huge Bard ult here. Not going to land the stun, though. But that's going to be a great explosive cast because Volibear jumps into the enemy team here. Great Renata Glask ultimate to follow up. Discrepancy is taken incredibly low here as now Venom is able to jump through this team. Hellblaze doing so much damage. They're going to be able to find another, but Sivir's going to be the one picking up the kill here. Now they're looking to re-engage onto the dragon, but Eternal Ethereal Ice
Charm?
still wants to fight. So much damage onto Zark. They're going to be able to back away as Ethereal Ice still relatively healthy, has a lot of mana to fight. They're going to continue to fight them off of the dragon here. It's 2v2, support and mid versus support and jungle. Are they going to be able to start this? King Demon still going through. The smite is going to be able to keep them alive for a little bit longer. The stun is good. The charm comes through, not going to be able to land. King Demon takes the dragon, is now looking for the kills as well, going to be able to find the bard. And that's a pretty big win for ZMG Venom.
Yeah, the big thing that won that fight was the Renata Glask ultimate through there. It hit not just the people immediately in front of Renata, but chased through and got to that backline later on. So as that tank line did come out of the Berserk, the backline was just getting hit by it, and they weren't able to actually do damage while the front line went back into the fight. So it got a little bit weird for the side of Ragnarok, and they just could not make that fight actually happen there. ZMG, nice turnaround for them as Hellblaze gonna have to back away there. It's 2 dragons now going over to ZMG, so ZMG not giving up this game just yet.
Yeah, and this is definitely a big oh, wait a minute. Okay. Wolfman just taking a bit of damage. But Discrepancy, oh, they were out. They think they realized they were outside the bush. They're just like, oh, okay, oops.
I am a large man hiding in a small bush.
Yeah. Look, if Cho'Gath can do it, so can you, Gragas. Don't worry about it. Rodless, looking for Zark here. Gonna throw out the stun's not gonna land, but the slow is good. Zark 100 taking incredibly low here. Wolfman's gonna be able to pick up the kill and resetting the stacks for Draven one more time, putting another kill onto Sivir's belt here for 1-0, 105 CS. This is looking really good for Wolfman in the bot lane.
Yeah, Wolfman has to be really happy with this game, as well as Draven unfortunately not getting a kill in that, as you are losing out on so much gold there. Important to note too is the Sivir does get more crit. It is the first attack from the ricochet that determines whether or not the ricochet is crit. So as Sivir gets more gold, those ricochets become more and more dangerous. Rodless, where are you going, buddy?
Yeah, Rodless is going on a magical journey. Going to have to use that Bard ultimate on themselves here. Ethereal Ice is coming in for a little bit of support, but that Bard is going down. As now Discrepancy now has to be the one to offer some support here, maybe to have just a little bit more space. As Ender's Gamer coming through onto Leo the Ravager here, but King Demon wants a fight. He's still going. The Ghost is popping, but the Bear doesn't want to go anymore, as now it's Hellblaze who's now been caught out by themselves. They have the Fear Stun, the Fear Charge, but they're not going to be able to land it this time, as Ethereal Ice is going to be the one picking up the kills. Ender's Gamer once again trying to find the kill onto the Troll, not going to be able to do it this time. Marty, I'm scared, looking to help out find the kill into Discrepancy, but they're not going to be able to land the CC just yet. They're going to have to back away.
Yeah, the mobility from Ragnarok, rather, just coming up in spades there, as Ari is able to chase down people, as King Demon just running back and forth, trying to keep his teammates alive, cannot keep up with the speed that this Ari has to get in and out of fights.
Yeah, Marty, I'm scared, was a little close there, playing a little too much with fire, but the wave is prepped if they want a turret dive. Now's the opportunity to do so, but they were peeling all the way back here, so they're going to play this as safe as they can. This might be first turret.
Yeah, first turret gonna go down. And now the gold lead will widen just a little bit here. So I want to take a quick look here as, yeah, oh my goodness, the difference in the bot lane right now. It is 4,800 on the Draven to 7,350 on the Sivir.
Yeah.
Sivir has very much eclipsed past this Draven at this current point, and I don't think that's going to change anytime in the near future. Darius also very far ahead here in gold, but just about 700 gold. And that is a lot on a Trundle that absolutely needs to be getting going right now.
Yeah, and I have to say, like, this is really good from Ragnarok here. They're doing a very good job of exerting their pressure and having the bot lane leave, right? The bot lane outer is gone. You have a gigantic lead. Sivir is your most farm champion. Don't have them sit in the bot lane. This is a really, really good call to have them mosey on up here. I wouldn't even mind having Ender's Game and Wolfman and Rodless swap here and just have them go for that outer turret.
Yeah, that's absolutely an option, but I think with the dragons spawning, you don't want to send them up top lane just yet. So I think having everybody move down, you don't have a teleport here. So you got to bring everybody down for this dragon. You need to start stacking the dragons. That's the one thing you've been losing out on in this game. And you want to start getting them specifically so that you don't see an early soul from ZMG, because that will hurt a lot. There is the on the hunt popped.
Yeah, I don't think they're able to find much. Ender's Gamer is still looking for a little bit more, but I think they might have bitten off a little bit more than they can chew here. Forced to flash away, and Jared, that is so much gold onto Draven right now, and now they're looking for a little bit more. The Zonias comes off. They're no longer golden, but that looks like a 1-for-nothing for free for ZMG here.
That is just a little bit ill-advised there from Ender's Gamer, just going a little bit too far. And now that could cost them big time here, although health bars definitely not looking healthy for ZMG as they try to chase this. King Demon taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, this is a 4v4. Remember, that's a great Renata Classic ultimate to follow up as well. King Demon gonna survive for just a little bit longer, but the zombie mode is not gonna keep them alive for much longer. Wolfman doing so much damage. This was looking like a really good counter engage by ZMG, and immediately Wolfman, please don't die to dragon. Please don't die to dragon. Okay.
Oh my god. I got really scared there.
Holy moly. Yeah, wow, what a turnaround by Wolfman here. Do not underestimate the amount of damage that Sivir can do. Holy moly, what a turnaround.
So much of that was the Sivir. The Renata ult looked really, really good, except for the fact that Wolfman was able to get back around out of it and survive throughout that entire fight, flashing over the wall and getting the ricochet damage through everybody. Ooh, that was a little bit close there from the Draven ult to steal that. But that is exactly what we said they needed. They needed to get that dragon to stop the stacking, that just take down any momentum that ZMG have put together so far. And now with the Sivir 6-1 and 2 at 2.5 items, this Draven's still trying to work towards that second item right now. And it is going to be a hot minute before he's finished on that one. Right now, Sivir is going to just melt entire teams in these team fights. And we're looking at just ZMG need to get picks. They can't take full-on 5v5 fights because the Sivir Ricochet will burn through them very quickly. You need to go for the Vex ults long range. You need to get the Renata handshakes to catch people out of position and then use the damage from Draven Vex in order to win these fights.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I have to say that, like, this is a team comp that, like, if ZMG's their biggest win condition right now is their gold is on the right champion. If we take a look at the gold, like, there's 7,200 on the Draven, and while that's still behind Sivir, that's still a lot of gold on a Draven. You know, they're pretty accurately powerful as they are in the game right now, and you know, this, if RES really has all of their gold onto Sivir, it's nearly 10,000 gold, 9,100 and 9,200 gold on the Sivir right now, right? Where everyone else is sitting around 6,000 and below, right? This is just a team that, like, is mostly behind except for Sivir.
I don't know if I entirely they're about even. I mean, mid lane's also doing really well. This Ahri's about 1,000 gold up on the Vex as
Mhm.
well. Like there's definitely some bright spots here. The Draven getting that shutdown, really really good stuff.
Right.
But
Like they
oh,
do
oh,
have the gold lead, right? But what I'm saying is that the gold is more evenly dispersed
yes.
on the red team than it is on the blue team. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, when you have less gold, it's probably a little easier to disperse it.
Right.
That's I do agree. Like it's a little evenly dispersed. If anything, ZMG would love to have the gold distribution that RES has right now. Right? Like you
Mhm.
would love to have 6 kills on this Draven and just have him popping off right now. But so far, it is just that Essence Reaver. The Eclipse should be done fairly soon. And that might give a little bit more presence to this Draven as we get ready for some later objective fights. The Baron has spawned. We are at 21 and a half minutes. Towers are falling. And with the power that this Sivir has, that Baron can get melted very quickly.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the big thing is that Sivir is mostly going to have to rely on her items in order to have this kind of like killing spree, because she no longer has that kind of passive attack speed on her ultimate, right, for the ricocheting blade. So,
Well,
alrighty, they're going to
it's
start
from
it
the
up.
Ricochet itself.
Mm-hmm.
They took it off the ult, put it on the W.
All right.
So
So, I mean, okay. So it looks like we're going to have to take a look at Baron now, who's now below half HP. Trundle is in the bot lane, and Hellblaze looking to fight. Might have found out Ethereal Ice here,
ooh,
forcing out the flash. They might have to peel off of Baron here, because that's Volley Bear over the wall. They might be able to steal it away. They grab it, and now King Demon's in the middle of the pit, flashing away. But now here comes the re-engage here.
just back
Enders
away.
Gamers has yeah. You just take that every day of the week. You run for your life and take a look at where Trundle is right now. They're grabbing that bottom tier turret and now have the Baron buff as well. This is going to be a really, really good split push and a really, really good time for Leo the Ravager to get back and a really good seeding into this game.
Major turnaround from ZMG as they are able to get King Demon over the wall, get the Baron as well, and get the tower at the same time. So much gold swung back into the favor of ZMG. It is, once again, like you said, evenly distributed, which I think is a little bit of a bad thing for them in their current state. But it is still gold into the pockets, and it is a Baron buff. It is just stat bonuses right now as the dragon is spawning. If ZMG get this, that is soul point coming up for them, and that is, it's gonna be hard to contest right now. Suddenly ZMG have themselves controlling the car, pushing it in their direction.
Yeah. And right now, they are forcing kind of a decision out from the blue team here. Take a look at where Trundle is. Once again, Trundle is putting on their best Alawi impression right now. With that Ignite, they are just sitting in that top lane. Hey, come and fight me. You either have to make the decision to sit on this Drake, or you can respond to my split push. And the red team, they're just like, hey, we already have 2 Drakes under our belt. You can have the second Earth Drake. We don't care. We're gonna grab your turrets instead. And now they're gonna be able to get this mid inner or outer rather, and make out like bandits.
Yeah, they're gonna be able to get away, I believe. On the Hunt was popped. King Demon gonna have to get out here. WP Wolfman gonna spot people out, but cannot lead the charge right now. I'm a little surprised they didn't want to take that. I think honestly it was a possible fight to take. Yes, they were still technically down in gold, but the fact that they had the Baron and the stats that it gives make up for that. So I think there was an opportunity to take that fight if they bring the Trundle down, but they had the Trundle topside. They said, all right, you know what? We can't fight this. Let's go mid, take that tower, and get this standing gold that we've been sitting on. Now, all of a sudden, gold is dead even at 40K across the board. It is anybody's game right now.
Yeah, and with the gold kind of evenly distributed across ZMG right now, they're now in a position where, hey, maybe Ragnarok is like, hey, maybe we want their gold distribution from the team now, right? Like this is now a team that like they're if it's like, oh, if we catch them without X person, then we'll get a good team fight because it's all on them. No, it's pretty even split amongst the team here. So it's not like you can find a good 4v4 or a good 3v3 here and come out on top. It's going to be really, really measured on how you play these engagements rather than just, oh, we have a man advantage.
I think there are two things to watch out for in these possible fights here. The first is the Vex ultimate. Where is the Vex going and how deep is she able to get onto this Sivir and disrupt her? The second is the Renata Glask ult. If that is put down in the right spot, which it has every single fight so far that we have seen it, I think that is a game-winning opportunity for them as now Leah the Ravager, oh no, Vex ult missed.
Yeah, Vexalt came down here, but that's a good Bard ultimate coming across here. Leo the Ravager, just so much damage. That Trundle came out so huge there. Finally goes down to the other half of that zombie mode from Renata Glask here, but King Demon still wants more. Gets charmed up, still looking for the re-engage, can't quite find it. The ultimate is down, so they're gonna have to back away, but that's a 2-for-1. I think you take that every day of the week.
At this point in the game, Leo will trade his life for the 80 carries every single time. That is a winning fight for you as you get in there. A really nice engage there. I was worried. We saw the Renata ult miss. We saw the Vex ult miss. But luckily, they were able to catch out the Sivir, get her down, and get down the rest of that team there. A nice pick there. Leo the Ravager flanking to perfection in this fight.
And I have to say, like, that kind of positioning kind of started because the whole of Ragnarok was looking to take out Leo the Ravager in the bot lane, and then I wasn't quite sure what happened. It looks like they were trying to collapse onto the Trundle and get that easy kill there, but then they kind of backed off and was trying to clear wards around the river as well. So then they were in that kind of blue buff area, and Trundle was on a good side to get in the flank as well. Once the rest of the team was like, "Hey, we're ready to fight now."
Yeah, I want to take a look at gold now. Draven's still down a good bit. Oh no.
Oh yeah, that's the death rush that you're looking for, and it goes onto Wolfman as well. That's a couple ultimate. That is an ultimate from Gragas down, but man, that is gonna give just a little bit gold back to RES now.
Well, it's not just about the gold. It's about the wave control. They no longer have a mid laner to keep this mid lane wave out. They no longer have a mid laner for the possible fight as this Baron is spawning in 25 seconds. So what you do now is you have that mid laner down, you shove this wave in, and you move over towards the Baron, take control of it while the mid laner is down. All of a sudden now, you're in control. Although Leo the Ravager looking to go in here. Holy moly, he does damage.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage onto Ethereal Ice already here. And you already mentioned that they're looking to get vision control. Look at this top quadrant of the map here. It is lit up by blue wards. They are so ready for this Baron fight. It just doesn't look like they're committing to it because of the threat of that Trundle here. And now they're threatening the dragon on the bottom half here, and immediately they're answering.
Dragon spawning very shortly here. Both these teams want to get the soul point. So we'll be starting up just in a minute. Leo the Ravager now maybe gonna try and chase down this Trundle. Ghost pop by Ender's Game just to get away as the Trundle ultimate is used. Is a summoner for an ultimate.
Yeah, that's a really good trade. And Leo the Ravager still full HP as well. And they're even sporting a hull breaker. This is insane. Leo the Ravager is getting revenge for game 2. Ender's Game are trying to 1v1, and now they're on the wrong end of that. As now we could pan back to the bottom half of the map here. Wolfman is going down one at a time, trying to finally gets a quadra kill down in this bottom half here. They know how to play around the split pusher, and Wolfman survives by the skin of their teeth. RES comes out huge here.
I know we didn't see it, but I can already tell what happened. Bard ult into the Gragas ult, which gave the Ricochet so much power as it was bouncing just in between them. Remember, that no longer stops after it's hit a person. It can bounce back to a person as long as it does not go back to the person it just hit. So Sivir, in those 3 to 4 man fights that don't involve minions, that Ricochet is doing so much damage back and forth between those 3. And when you group them up with that Gragas and Bard ultimate, Sivir suddenly just melting people. WP Wolfman once again giving his team the power to win these fights, as that is a 3rd Mountain Dragon picked up for the side of RES.
Yeah, Ragnarok Esports here. I mean, this is looking really good for them right now. This is a really good position. They're down. Gold is dead even, right? But they're about to get a fourth Earth Drake Earth Soul. That is so much defensive stats on a team that is mostly bruisery at best, right? Bard is sitting on some defensive items, but isn't a tank. Same thing with Darius and Gragas here. They have some defensive items, but they're not true tanks. And so by getting that shield, getting those passive stats, it
Wolfman's
could be really
alone.
powerful. But King Demon looking for the fight here. Good Bard ult is going to stop the engage here, but Discrepancy might be in some trouble here. Here comes Renata Glass ultimate across here. Bard is trying to fight Wolfman, who's taken incredibly low here. Ethereal Ice might be on the wrong end of this team fight here. Now they're looking for the re-engage. Ender's Game taken to a down half HP here. He's going to be taking the Ignite. Whirling Blades coming back across. Not going to be able to find the kill this time, but take a look at Trundle. Trundle is taking all of their turrets. They have lost multiple turrets in this fight here, and they lost the fight as well. This is now a huge turnaround for Venom right here.
Yeah, Venom able to turn that fight around with a nice ultimate from the Renata once again. Discrepancy looking for a steal. We've seen one steal this game already. Is Discrepancy going to be able to make it a 1-for-1 here? No.
Ooh, not going to be able to get the steal this time, but it looks like the fight has started. Wolfman is doing so much damage. That Baron buff does nothing for you now. Triple kill on the Sivir. Holy moly, the damage.
That was absurd. And that is unfortunately what can happen if you just let the Sivir into those small corridors. People forget, because we have not seen on-hit Sivir for a long time, just how much damage she can do in those confined spaces. It is just like any of those other AoE wombo combo style of compositions. You cannot fight in the small corridors, because all of that damage bouncing back and forth between you is going to be impossible to deal with.
Yeah, not to mention, like, we haven't seen Sivir play in this kind of style for a very long time. You know, back in the day, it used to be the on-hit Sivir with the static Shiv, you know, and building like Storm Razor and stuff like that. But for the most part, we've seen her just throw out Boomerang Blaze and kind of hit on the edges here, getting Dark Harvest stacks. Now it's like these corridors, like you said, these kind of confined spaces are death traps. And even in those compositions with the wombo combos, those are usually on ultimates. This is Sivir using basic abilities and auto attacks.
Yeah, it is frustrating to say the least. And yeah, we will see now if they can try and make this. I think it just really doubles down on the fact that they have to pick this Sivir off. They got it at the beginning and forced Sivir back, but they took too long to take the Baron, and it just gave an opportunity. Bardalt gonna hit Renata.
Yeah, they're on the hunt. That's going to be the explosive cash coming across, but they're not able to single out Renata just yet. The stun is good, but Renata is going to throw out that big ultimate, but it doesn't land onto Wolfman, but they're all taking incredibly low here. Here comes the re-engagement from Volibear here. Ender's Gamer is taking incredibly low. They might be able to find that first kill. Zark 100 is going to be the one picking up the... Look at these ricocheting blades! They keep going! Wolfman is legendary! King Demon goes down! Leo the Ravager, it's all on you. You have to save this game. You are the one split pushing. You have to keep going. I don't know if he can go back and save the game right now. He has to keep
25 damage on these ricochet blades. Oh my god, but the damage, look at this.
It has to be a base race here. Leo the Ravager throws out the ultimate. He's looking to kill these turrets. It's going to be a base race. It's going. They have to stop it. Leo the Ravager, he's doing so much damage to the Nexus. They can't stop it. All the gold in the world.
My God.
16, 2, and 4 Sivir, 700 gold shut down to their name. All of it and more in spades couldn't have been better. But Trundle, the split pushing god, is going to be the one that secures the match for ZMG Venom.
That was obscene after that start. Leo the Ravager got a really... Oh my goodness, these freaking sides not working correctly. I apologize, everybody. But yeah, holy moly. That is one of the greatest things I have seen in like amateur league. Holy, it started off so like good and then kind of dipped really hard for Leo as obviously the level 2 Leo just kind of running down this Darius, and then kind of falling later and later on. Once that Hullbreaker got built, nobody had the opportunity to take on the Trundle, and remember, they got the Baron. Nobody else survived with it. They all died in that pit, and they tried to push that top side. They said, "No, what? Go, Trundle, do your thing. Keep pushing. We will maybe die in the process, but we will buy you enough time." And nobody could get back in time to stop the Trundle. Leo
Mhm.
single-handedly winning that game for ZMG.
Yeah. I do want to edit a bit of the end there because I got a little too excited. But man, Ragnarok Esports here coming in really, really good. And I have to hand it off to Leo the Ravager, who probably, and I called it early on that he was just, look, I'm mad. I'm mad after having to deal with that 1v1 Alawi all game. Let me show you how annoying it is to deal with, and immediately turns on a dime here and turns around and says, "Hey, how do you like it when someone does the same thing to you here?" And Ender's Gamer constantly being that duo that team fighter with the rest of the team on the Darius, wasn't able to stop the Trundle from finishing off the game. So well played by Leo the Ravager there.
Yeah, really smart stuff. And I mean, like the fact that they recognized they could get away with that was really good, because I think they kind of realized at a certain point, okay, Sivir's gonna wipe the floor with us. Sivir did 40,000 damage throughout that entire game, which was no one was even close on that. The closest person was 25,000 damage on that Vex.
Mhm.
The fact that they kind of realized that, said, all right, you know what? Screw it. We have to split push for the win. We can no longer team fight. We can no longer make that work. So just go for it. Make that call. That is a hard call to make. That is a scary call to make. And the fact that they committed to that and were able to make that work takes a lot of wherewithal.
Yeah. It was a really, really well played game by Ragnarok Esports. And honestly, like, ZMG throughout this entire game 3 did not let up. It really came down to kind of this last fight here because ZMG had cleared Ragnarok for the most part and were basically going to do the same thing that Leo the Ravager was doing to them. Like, they had 3 members in the enemy base and they were committing to ending the game. And now
Mhm.
here they are, like, they are just ready to go. Like, this was a really, really close match and it came down to the wire.
Absolutely. I mean, great stuff all around, I think, for both teams. And yeah, man, that has to feel really bad for Ragnarok. They've got to be hurting from that.
Yeah, for sure. That was such a great game. Thank you all so much for watching. GG's to both teams, but at the end of the day, we can only have one winner, and this time is Ragnarok Esports Skoll. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, press that follow button. We'll have League of Legends action for you nearly every single day for more banger games like this one for y'all to watch. And for myself, the entire live broadcast crew, Thousand Eyes, my co-caster, and myself, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you at the next match. Bye bye.